All right, I made it. I didn't want to poop my pants like I was saying a little bit earlier. Your boy got a little bit caught up on the toilet there, but here we are. Just only 8 minutes late. It's all good. It's all good. I'll go an extra 8 minutes over the 2 hour mark anyway, so it's all good. I'll make it up. Big fight day. Let me just tweet out the link once again so we can get a little bit more people in here. Then we'll get this goddamn show on the road. Where is it? Like, I like having the Periscope stream up, which is pretty cool, but I'd rather people hop into the YouTubes so they're able to at least engage in the chat, which is way more lively. Here we go. All right. We are good to go. Let me pull up my slate because, as you guys know, I usually like to go over my bets first and foremost, and then I start to engage with the chat. Let me just see what the chat's saying right to kick things off here. Anywhere, my guy, Super. You say we're cooking tonight. What do you think about the Hooker Chandler over 2.5? New studio looks badass, man. Congrats. I appreciate it, dude. I don't know why you're congratulating me. Your boy's just trying to renovate it and bring that a little bit more professional look to the table. My only issue is these wires still. I gotta hide these goddamn bastards. It looks great on camera when I'm recording for the podcast, but then when I'm going live, I can't really zoom or anything with my laptop. So yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. And if I move too far back, it just doesn't look too good. So that's my only issue. But yeah, appreciate you. In terms of the over in the Hooker Chandler fight, there's only two scenarios I see going over 2.5. Is one, we see a Hooker go out there and kind of play a distance game and not really let his shots go too much, maybe just kick Chandler and just keep him on the outside. Or if Chandler's actually successful over and over again in terms of getting Hooker to the ground and just grinding him out, like we saw in the Brent Primus fight for Michael Chandler. You know, he doesn't mind laying and praying. What are the odds for that? Let me pull that up real quick so I can give you guys at least a better gauge. Over 2.5 is -115. Okay, not a bad shot. But man, I think it's going to be a violent fight. Mixing the fact that it's Michael Chandler's debut, I feel like he's going to want to go out there and put on a bit of a statement. So he might, overextend himself and get knocked out or get choked out or something like that, or he might just be gunning for that KO. And let's not forget, there's a huge added caveat here in terms of somebody called it Khabib Nurmagomedov's Saturday Night Contender Series, because if you guys remember for last week, we had that huge Khabib announcement, and he's like, one of these four guys need to impress me for me to come back and defend the title, otherwise I'm hanging it up for good. So that's another added caveat for tonight. Don't forget about that. Hey, look, it's me telling you guys from the toilet I was taking a dump. Martin, yo, luck of the night, ready to make some dollar roos, get that coffee going. I don't really need coffee now. I did get an energy drink, though. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not good for you, but I had to get on that for this morning. SKD is saying he streamlined the cappers he's following in the new year. Had to keep my boy Lock of the Night in the mix. I believe we're bouncing back from these first few events. Good luck. Yes. It seems like the bad juju is on me right now. So I'm hoping that I can right the wrongs today, and it'll be great to right the wrongs, especially at this huge UFC 257 event. Obviously, I won't be able to dig myself out of the hole that I got over the last two events, but at least we can start chipping away and getting back. It's just the beginning of the year. Yeah, I mean, this is only our third event of the year. We can definitely get our shit back. All right, let me go over my bets real quick, and then I'll get back into the chat. So if you guys don't already know, my lock of the night play is not a full 5 units this time around, as I truly believe that this is a very tough card. A lot of people are obviously on Connor, and a lot of people are obviously on. Wow, I just saw a headline that said Larry King died. Larry King is dead at the age of 87. Holy fuck. Now, I'm not a guy that watched CNN a lot or watched all these Larry King shows, but obviously a very predominant broadcasting legend in the game. Yeah, fuck. All right. R.I.P. Larry King. Anyway, let's get back to the bets. Like I said, not a bet on here that I'm truly 5 units deep on or 5 units confident on. A lot of people can easily say Connor and they can say Amanda Hebos, and obviously I'll get to the Hebos thing a little bit later. But with Connor, it's always the layoff that kind of like scares me away a little bit. That could obviously come into play here. I do believe he still goes out there, gets the first round knockout, but I'm not willing to go out there and lay that type of money on it. So I'm just going to stay back. And I feel like the chalk is a little bit too much there. So my lock of the night play is 3.5 units. We got Khalil Roundtree and Marcin Prachnio. I'm going with the under 2.5. -166. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that I love my violence bets, right? You guys know that I like to go out there and bet on these guys to knock each other out or choke each other out, especially if they have a high likelihood from the past to do exactly that. Last week or sorry, the Wednesday card, it should have been the Vinicius Moreira and the Ike Villanueva fight. You know what I mean? I only ended up betting a 1.5 units at -111. I should have just nutted up and went the whole 3.5, 4, 4.5, 4, 5 units on it. But I got cute. I got sucked up in the Munir Lizez thing, and that really fucked me that night. So I definitely learned from my lesson there. Obviously there's a chance that this under 1.5 doesn't hit tonight, and also mix that in with my dwindling bit of confidence. Obviously, we have our ups and downs and we have our swings, but I really got to get my shit back in line, and getting some green tonight would really help me out. So I got 3.5 units at -166 on the under 1.5 in the Roundtree and Prachnio fight. That's my lock of the night play. Then we got 2 dog of the night plays. We got Antonio Carlos Jr. I got a unit and a half on him at +107. I think it's a great line on him. I think he's going to go out there and actually be very, very successful with the grappling, continuously get Brad Tavares to the ground. And if he's not able to get him, keep him down, he should be able to continue to get him down and start to control him. And I think a sub is live, but I'd rather bang on the decision prop, which is like in the +300s. But I do like Carlos Jr. here. I think people are overblowing his cardio at this point in time. That Uriah Hall fight was very impressive, that he was able to maintain that. It was impressive that he was able to maintain the back position for that entirety of that third round. Would have been nice if he got this. It would have been nice if he got the finish, but he was not able to. It is what it is. And then the Ian Heinisch fight. I don't see Brad Tavares going out there and Ian Heinisching our guy Carlos Jr. in terms of being an energizer bunny, being that good at scrambling. I think he's going to have some issues here. And then next up, I have 1 unit. This is the one that a lot of people are going to call me crazy on. I got 1 unit on Marina Rodriguez at +282. That much amount of value is just way too much to pass up here. And what I want to do is just quickly bring up the Bet MMA site and their tools in terms of letting you guys know statistically how this actually works out. So at +282, they're implying that Marina Rodriguez wins this fight at a 26% clip. I absolutely disagree. I think that it should be closer to that 40%. As I do believe we've obviously seen the lack of game Marina Rodriguez has when it comes to the grappling. But what I want to remind people is I find this fucking hilarious. But people, a fact. This is absolutely a fact. Carlos Esparza has one of the best wrestling techniques and wrestling chops in this division, bar none. You can say what you want about her skills on the feet, but she has the best wrestling, or one of the best. So you got Tatiana Suarez, that's obviously up there, or I'd like to call her Nurmagomedov Suarez. But I think under her is Carlos Esparza. If not, she's like top 3 in the division. So you got one of the best wrestlers out there, and you're putting Marina Rodriguez in there as a -200 favorite. She goes out there, gets taken down by a couple times by Carlos Esparza, knowing what we already know from the past couple of fights with Marina Rodriguez, that she can be taken down by Cynthia Calvillo and Rana Marcos. Yet people are going out there and saying, okay, she's going to be able to stop the takedowns of Carlos Esparza and keep this fight on the feet and win that fight. So where were those people that were betting Marina Rodriguez at -200? Because in my opinion, Amanda Hebus does not have as good of a takedown game as Carlos Esparza. You know what I mean? Carlos Esparza is going out there, landing these open mat takedowns, landing these high crotches, whereas with Amanda Hebus, yeah, she has decent judo, and she's mainly clinching these women up against the cage and dragging them down. Like even the Paige Vanzant fight, she almost gave up her back there trying to get her down with that headlock almost. So yeah, I'm not sure where it changed. Like, there's all this hype on Amanda Ribas, and I truly think her striking game is being extremely overrated at this point in time, as she's going out there and outstriking girls like Mackenzie Dern, Randa Marcos, and who the fuck was the last one? Paige Vanzant, who we didn't even get to see much of on the feet, right? Now you got Marina Rodriguez, one of the meanest strikers in the division, one of the best strikers in the division, and definitely has some pop on her shots. So how is Amanda Ribas going to deal with that? That's my question. And at plus 282, I'm definitely taking a shot there. And mix in the quarter unit shot that I took on Rodriguez to win via KO at plus 1350. I'm right there as well, too. So again, I don't mind putting myself out there to take these types of shots, because when they come through, red penny night, right? All right. Next up, we got Dan Hooker. I got 1.25 units at minus 125. I just wanted to win a unit there. I think he has a solid shot of winning this fight. My main concern, slight tall man defense, and Michael Chandler definitely has some bombs in his hand, but that's a lot of reach and height to overcome for Michael Chandler. And I think we can see a greatly devised game plan from our guy, Eugene Behrman. I hope that it's going to be centered around the calf kick, as I believe that's going to be very much live here for Dan Hooker to target. And if you guys remember, Dan Hooker against Ali Quinta, that looked pretty fucking one-sided. So let's see how this goes. And then lastly, I got 2 units on Mahmoud Muradov at minus 144. I just think he's going to be the better fighter all around here. He should be able to stuff the takedowns and really piece up Andrew Sanchez on the feet. I'm interested to see the approach from Andrew Sanchez here. Is he going to go out there and, show confidence in his striking again like he did last time against Wellington Turman, or is he just going to go out there and just wrestle? Like, maybe he's just trying to build up this image that, oh, look, I knocked out somebody. Now I'm going to start to play with my hands. And then other people start to kind of forget that he's also a wrestler too. You need a couple fights under your belt before you can do that. You know what I mean? Like Johnny Hendricks, when Johnny Hendricks was bombing on dudes in his heyday, people almost forgot about the wrestling, but then when he wanted to go to the wrestling, you could go to it. But yeah, maybe that's what Andrew Sanchez is trying to do here. So decent slate. I also had a small play on Nasrat Hakparas before he decided to, eat a couple tacos before going to bed. And then obviously on Otman Azatar, I had half a unit on that first round KO at plus 300. Thought I had a little bit of value there too. And then he decides to go out there and be an absolute dumbass. So it is what it is with this guy there. I'm just checking out one last thing. All right, let's get to the chat. We got 72 live freaking viewers. Y'all are beasts. I'm loving it. We're only 12 minutes into the stream, 75. We might even hit that 100 mark at this point in time. All right, let's get into the chat. I don't want to fall too far behind because I like being live with you guys as much as possible. So let's get this going. We had my guy Martin letting me know, make sure I got that dump out of the way because I got to be sitting on my butt for the next 2 hours. So thank you, appreciate it. Bumbleclot 24 is good to see you, brother. Boy got bubble guts before game time. Butterflies, yeah, you guys know. Chris is saying too much, Robert. You guys know that. I never got butterflies anymore. It's interesting. I used to be so nervous to come on and do these things and record the videos and put them out for you guys. And now it's just like another day, especially this whole week. Like since Monday, I've had a stream every single day, whether it's my own stream, whether it was odds. Yeah, just staying busy. Scritchin, hey, y'all, Smokey back here taking a shit. Exactly. Yeah, this is the classic MMA Lock of the Night logo. Yeah, might have to do a quick little rerun of those. I know a lot of people love those. Up the good people. Who's the apple pie share this week? Great timing on that question when I was on the toilet. You know what? Let's see. Well, I already have a bet on Marina Rodriguez, so maybe Amanda Ribas is going to be that apple pie shitter, guys. I'm telling you, y'all can call me crazy as much as you want, but I'm calling it. I'm sure I'm going to be talking more about that matchup throughout this stream, so I'm ready to get into it with you guys. Also, Khalil Roundtree, minus 345. I can't believe people are actually still betting him up at that line. I think the line to hit here would be Khalil under 1.5. You know what I mean? Both these guys can crack, and we've seen him have chin issues in the past as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Light that chronic up and let's get this cash. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing after I hop off this stream. Yes, definitely doing me some shawarma. Tristan is asking, do you know how to edit a bet on Bet MMA before the event has started, like for UFC 257? So if you've placed a bet and you wanted to edit it, you have to hit up the guy that runs the site. The best way to do it is through Twitter. Don't at him. Just slide into his DMs. I believe his DMs are open. Slide into his DMs. That's the best way to get ahead or to get to him. If he has the time, he should be able to do it. Mind you, he's on UK time as well. So just keep that in mind. Here, Bumbleclot. Yes. Morning, gents. Shout out to SD Crusader. Appreciate you hopping on for the stream. Line is really moving against Iron Mike, getting a bit attractive for Chandler inside the distance. Yeah. I had, well, you know what? I lied. I predict, and my line prediction is just absolutely horrible. Take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I thought that we'd see more money coming on Iron Mike closer to the fight, but I think people are going with the established UFC veteran narrative here, and I don't blame them. Stefano Cariguizado is saying, bro, Murdoch versus Sanchez plus 1.5 at minus 200. Is this a good parlay piece? Greetings from Peru. I'm assuming PE. For some reason, they don't allow you to see the flags in these chats. I'm assuming he means Murdoch Sanchez over 1.5. I just want to take a quick peek at that line to make sure he's right. Over 1.5 is around minus 250. So if that's what you mean, I do think it goes over 2.5. I think that yeah, I think unless Sanchez completely comes out there and just like thinks he's fucking the ultimate cheater now that he went out there and knocked somebody out, he might get knocked out. But yeah, I think it would go over 1.5. Twin Hawk, man, I don't know about Dan Hooker. He's definitely a great fighter and durable, but I honestly think that there's levels to this game and think Chandler will have the experience to beat him. Chandler's up there in age too, dude. He's closing in on 35 in April. I think his best years are behind him. And if you want to talk about experience, man, Dan Hooker's been in the UFC for a long time, fighting killers on a night-to-night basis. Whereas you got Mike Chandler in his last 2 fights fighting fucking 2020 Ben Henderson. And I'm not trying to rag on Ben Henderson. He's probably one of my favorite fighters of all time. But he's not the same fighter that he used to be, especially when they had originally fought when Ben Henderson first came over to Bellator. Whereas Dan Hooker, you know, going out there night in and night out, having close fights and good fights against a lot of top-level UFC talent. So can't knock the spot on Dan Hooker either here. It's Booty. I think I've had Murdoch on too many of my parlays. You know what? I was actually looking through my DraftKings lineups too, and I'm like, fuck, I got a lot of him on it too. So I had to reel him back a little bit. But I do think he wins though. Hence why I went with the 2-unit play on him there. Austin, yo, what's up, bro? New subscriber here. Came from Sal's channel. Looking forward to your content. Appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate it. Shout out to my guy Sal Vetri, man. I owe that guy so much. The guy is just pushing me so fucking hard right now, and I couldn't be more thankful. You know what I mean? He has such an established community, a loyal fan base as well too. Like, I haven't had one guy talk shit to me yet since I dropped anything on Sal Vetri's channel. Maybe I just need somebody to bring me back to reality just to talk some random shit. But no, it's been great over there, man. I feel like I'm already a part of the family, and I'm really looking forward to dropping some more content for you guys there. And I want to get like dead ass serious for this DraftKings stuff, right? Like I've dabbled in the past, like I said in the video, but I want to get like super deep into it. Like I want to start building out those crazy lineups and really start to tackle these. I found that I'm more of a head-to-head kind of guy rather than a GPP kind of guy or even like a cash game guy. Because I would rather just go out there and like double my money and just know that, okay, I got to pick some high scorers here, and I'm very confident doing so. But then I'll also have some sneaky lineups where I can throw in a girl like Marina Rodriguez, and I don't think she'd be highly owned in those types of tournaments, and probably cash one of those big tournaments. I'm hoping that could happen. Fuck, that'd be great to cash one of those big tournaments. But I'm not making it a goal of mine right off the bat to go out there and try to take down one of those tournaments. But that's definitely on a bucket list of mine for this DFS world. Shawty Mac, big man, pre the God. I appreciate the love, brother. Trust me. Finesse God, Roundtree or Surukian for DraftKings lineup. Price difference doesn't matter. I think Roundtree has a much higher upside in terms of scoring way more. I think the Surukian fight's going to go a little bit deeper. We might not get as high of a price. And I truly think that we know what the upside of Roundtree is here, right? He's possibly even live to hit that that if in the first 60 seconds bonus and getting an extra 25 points. That's absolutely a possibility here. But also, like, again, his upside here is getting that first round knockout. Whereas Surukian, I think it's more going to be domination and then going out there and winning a decision. But again, Pacquiao can crack as well too. But the upside of having Roundtree on a couple of your lineups, I think would mean a lot more in terms of how much he can score. But do keep in mind that Pacquiao could absolutely pull off a victory too. Roundtree is chinny, so I wouldn't mind if you had a couple Pacquiaos on your lineup as well too, just to cover your ass in case Roundtree does shit the bed. All right, Robert Hilarious and deep voice lock is good luck today. Do I got a deep voice? Is there something wrong with my mic? Let me know. Ty Durkin, Bad Juju is on everyone right now. Other channels like yours are having a rough start to the year too. Yeah, I haven't seen a couple guys just like squeezing out a unit or two here, but then I'm seeing other guys also really shit in the bed as well. So I don't like to compare myself too much to the other guys. But when you see the community kind of on a little bit of a bad run too, you kind of take a little bit of the blame off yourself. But at the end of the day, you're the one that's pulling the trigger. You're the one that eventually made that bad read, and I got to nip that shit in the butt before it gets any worse. Tristan is saying apparently Larry King died from COVID-19 complications, is what I heard. Yeah, the guy's 87 and looked frail as hell. It felt like if you like just flicked him, yeah, I mean the guy probably would die. What else we got here? BP, what's good, dude? An avid supporter of the channel. What's going on? If Nick Lentz comes through for me, it's gonna be a big weekend. Yeah, he's been in my comment section all week. Well, ever since I dropped my podcast saying that Nick Lentz is gonna be his dog, and I don't blame him. However, I'm big on Evloev. I will admit this is a tough matchup, and I do think the line is a little bit too wide. But yeah, I don't mind my guy BP taking the value shot on Nick Lentz there. Ziz MMA is saying you mean 1.5. I'm hoping that I meant 1.5, but yeah, I'm taking the under 1.5 in the Roundtree and Pacquiao fight. I don't have any under 2.5 in my book. Did I say 2.5? I apologize, guys. I meant under 1.5 in the Roundtree and Pacquiao fight. I apologize. There's my old roommate, Mr. Sean Campbell, dropping some inside jokes. Shout out to my guy, Sean Campbell. I appreciate you hopping on the stream and showing your boys some support. Robert Chicken Wings, I'm saying, I think Hebos is more well-rounded. She has the better jiu-jitsu, but I don't think she has the better striking game. Like, it looks like she has the better striking game because she's going out there and like beating up some of these women on the feet. But again, what is it going to look like when she's going up against another, like a legitimate striker in Marina Rodriguez? That's my question. Go back and watch that Poliana Vienna fight. And again, I know that was over 5 years ago and she must have made a ton of improvements, but show me those improvements against a legitimate striker. Then I'll be done. Okay, 1.5. That's where I have my biggest play. Also, good. Sean Campbell is going to be here all week, guys, dropping some gems in the chat for you guys that you'll have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Cleveland 2161, where do you bet at? Sorry if you said so already. So I'm up here in Canada. As you guys already know, there's a ton of different spots that obviously, depending on where you are, the bookies are different. But up here in Canada, I use Pinnacle. I also use CoolBet. That's somewhat of a newer bookie up here. They're actually based out of Toronto, which is why I decided to go out there and seek an affiliation agreement with them. I've managed to secure that. I should have put it in the description below. But if you guys go to coolbet.com, if you're in Canada, go to coolbet.com, sign up with them, and then under your My Accounts and bonuses, hit that or input MMA LOTN, and you guys will get a free $20 free roll, 6 times rollover, easy shit to get past. But yeah, very cool bookie, and allows you to parlay props. I know a lot of you guys are looking for spots that will allow you to parlay props. Let's get crazy. Go ahead and parlay those props on CoolBet. Robert Hilario resulting in a heart attack. Yes. Trying to figure out. I gotta catch up with this chat real quick. Ziza MMA, he's saying we learned she has no get up game. Rebus is more lethal on the mat than Carla the Blanket. There is that possibility, but again, I'm interested to see how she approaches getting this fight to the ground. Yeah. And again, at plus 282, I'm taking that shot. A 26% chance people are giving her. I don't agree. Murata is an awesome wrestler too. Yeah, I agree. Murata, I'm really looking forward to how she looks like in the UFC as well, right? She definitely looks very, very good. God damn, you guys killed it. Let me catch up here as much as possible. Fender Jazz, I just saw Marina Rodriguez by KO at plus 800, the same, so I got her at plus 1200 late last night. Yeah, there's not money coming in. I got her at plus 1350 on my cool bet site, or sorry, on Pinnacle. And I also did just take an untracked play on her small 0.25 unit play on her to win in round 2, which is the round I think she gets it done plus 1900 if you guys want a round prop there. Carlo the Blanket, he's absolutely right. I had Chandler via second round sub. Interesting. I think Dan Hooker has a very underrated jiu-jitsu game, so he's definitely live on the ground as well too. The DXJC 56. Anyone know what a point spread would be on an MMA on Battle Online? They got option for almost every fight, and I've legitimately never seen that before. I'm not sure if anybody's already answered this for him, but if you have a fighter that's like minus 3.5, that means that if they win inside the distance, that means they win. If they go out there and win a decision, they need to win by more than minus 3.5. So if they win by 30-27, you lose your bet. If they win by 30-26, you win your bet. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it goes in terms of the point spreading. John Gillian, hey, man, I love your info. I'm coming from Sal's channel, man. Your content is amazing. Dude, I appreciate it. Sal is a beast. I'm hoping that one day me and him could do a joint stream so we can give you guys maybe some love there. But I do have something coming on his channel next week that I can't wait to share with you guys. I just want to finalize it with him first, then I'll announce it. But there's no UFC next weekend, but I still want to fill you guys with some content, so be sure to look out for that. David Nettles is saying, what in your opinion do you see the boxing training that Conor has been doing a good or bad thing? Better is cardio? Any upsides or downsides to training? There's no downsides with it. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no downsides to go out there and sharpen your tools on a certain side, especially with his how lethal of a striker he already is. So to sharpen up those games, I don't think there's anything bad about that. Like with mixed martial arts, yeah, you can go out there and train like a mixed martial arts fight, and you can simulate a mixed martial arts fight. But more often than not, fighters, at least when I was like around MMA gyms, these guys are going out there and taking their Muay Thai classes, they're taking their boxing classes, they're taking their jiu-jitsu classes. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing that Conor's been training boxing for sure. Socrates, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you hopping in the stream. Yes, if you haven't already, hit that like. We had almost 100 people in here already. Hit that like. It's going to help me out a lot. Trust me. JW, thank you for coming out for all these streams. Appreciate it a lot. Marathon MMA, best of luck to you today, brother. 2 units on the Armand by decision at minus 130. Yeah, I think if he gets it done, that's the way he gets it done. And yeah, you don't want to play that minus 750. That's way too much you're leaving on the table here. So I think the decision prop is definitely the way to go. Alex Ramirez, Shark, what's going on, brother? John Gillian, do you think Roundtree loses today? No, I do think he gets the knockout, but I would not be surprised if you see Prochnio go out there and put him out too. So you guys need to be prepared for that in case you guys have high exposure on Roundtree. I do think that Roundtree will be optimal. I do think he'll be up there, be on that winning line, especially if he goes out there and knocks this guy out as people are expecting him to do. But do not be shocked if Prochnio is the one doing the crack meows. Robert Hilary, I think that's very hard to define since the scores come after the contest is finished. I think I hopefully I explained it to you guys. Tanner Bledsoe, what do you think about Hooker in round 2 at plus 600 versus just taking him to win by KO at plus 215? You're kind of backing yourself into a corner. Like, you guys know me. I love round props, right? I mean, I try to go out there and find a reason as to why I should bet a guy specifically in a specific round. For example, the reason I took that untracked play on Marina Rodriguez at plus 1900 in round 2 is I believe that she's going to need that first round to get comfortable, and she could, kind of establish herself in that first round, and then in that second round really start to let it go against Amanda Hiba. So I thought there was a ton of value at plus 1900. With Hooker round 2 plus 600, I feel like I need a little bit more of a higher line there to truly take the shot there. But I think taking him by KO is a safer spot. And another spot that I think is very sneaky, we said it on the stream last night, plus 1150 for Hooker to win by sub. So if Michael Chandler gets very desperate with these takedowns and really can't handle the pressure of Hooker, I think he could snatch that neck up too. We have seen a couple of guillotine victories on Hooker's record, and going up against a wrestler who could probably easily get frustrated by getting chipped apart on the outside, he might leave that neck exposed. So plus 1150 I think is a solid stat, but I think it's the KO that eventually gets the victory for Dan Hooker. Martin, what do you think about Hotman getting cut situation? I don't want to get too deep into it because we really covered it a lot last night on the odd stream, but yeah, he really fucked up. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, there's Paul Daly, blind shotting Josh Koscheck after the bell, and then there's fucking Hotman Azaitar trying to sneak in something in the bubble. What a dumbass. All right, JB Gaming, could you see Chandler KO? Yeah, I could see it. I could absolutely see it. The guy has some power, but I think we'll see a decent enough game plan from Hooker to keep Chandler on the outside, maximize that 4-inch height advantage, maximize that 6-inch reach advantage, and keep this guy on the outside. Batter that lead leg, take off the power from Chandler, and then start to do work with your hands. So I got a Hooker, but a Chandler KO is definitely live. I think that's his path to victory here. Rodriguez in the distance plus 800 isn't that bad at all. Again, I'm not sure how she pulls off the sub, so I would rather go with the KO, where you get an even better line. If you have access to that, the KO line is probably the better one to go. Khalil round 1 at evens is a hilariously stupid bet in a ton of my parlays. It should be the one that cashes, though. Which is why I made my lock of the night play the under 1.5 to get that extra 2.5 minutes if we do see this fight go to the second round, like we saw the Ike Villanueva and Vinicius Moreira fight. Luckily, Vinicius. Let me just talk about that KO real quick. You guys see the replay where you see fucking Vinicius Moreira just looking at the punch coming at him? Like, it's like if you slowed it down and you just put like love music to it or something like that, or an R&B track to it, it looks like he's about to make out with that hand that's coming his way. Fucking hilarious. But yeah, he gets knocked the fuck out. Martin said he had a Hail Mary 9-fighter parlay, hit all except Magny, let me down. Would have gotten 600 euro from a 17-year-old bet. Damn, dude. There's always that one fight. And especially if you have, let me get you some information here. If you're, I'm not much of a hedger myself, but if you get to a point where you're on the last fight of the card and you just need one fight to hit, and especially if you're getting dog money on Chiesa, you take a little bit of a shot on Chiesa to kind of make up for your risk on that Hail Mary bet, so you profit regardless. All right. Tristan Schuhauser. Okay, thanks for answering my question. No problem, brother. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. You guys are lighting up the chat, so let me just catch up as much as possible. UFC Shark, shout out, brother. Ooh, we had a donation from my guy Socrates 1399. I appreciate it, brother. I got to work on the sticker game in here too. Apparently, that's a big thing in these super chats. So I'll try to add some incentives for these super chats. But yeah, appreciate it, man. Really, really appreciate it for sure. SKD, is Dana bluffing about streamers? I don't think he is, but I don't think he's going to be able to truly crack down on everybody. So there'll always be a way for somebody to find a link to this. Just saying. But maybe the main sites might go down. I think crack streams went down last week, so just beware. But as long as you're not the one putting out the streams, I think you're good to go. Don't worry about it. Benes, what's with all the hate on my guy Hookah? There is no hate. I'm loving him. I think that's why the money is coming in on him as well too. So on Bet Online, they're saying a weird line. McGregor, Poirier, Connor's at -5.5, and Dustin's at +5.5. So just a quick, if anybody hasn't already, explained to my guy DXJC. So if Connor goes out there and knocks out Poirier, that cashes. That -5.5 cashes. But if he goes out there and wins a 50-45 again, or anything less than more than 5.5 or less than 5 points against Poirier, you lose that bet. So if you take Dustin +5.5 and he wins one round and it's like 49-46, you win that Dustin bet. That's what it is. Why didn't you head on Chiesa Martin and guarantee par? Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Nick West, what's good in T-Dot, brother? Shout out to my guy Nick West out there in Ottawa holding it down. Big supporter of mine. Appreciate you coming out. I'm not going to continue to go over that. Hopefully I answer your questions. How does McGregor win by 6 points? Again, he needs a 10-8 round in there. That's how he wins that. Danny Sejo, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you coming out. Pumped for this card. God damn, we got 220 people in here. Let me catch up real quick. There was no guarantee the rest would hit either. True. If he was last fight on the slate, did it had already won? Yes. When you get that far, you jump on and you hedge, especially at least cover your risk. Roundtree is my main parlay piece. You better not be the weeks. Munir Lazez. Sorry, I shouldn't have said his name. Yes, we don't speak that name around here anymore. That guy's dead to me. But yeah, exactly. It could absolutely happen. We've been seeing these favorites go out there and get knocked stiff. So please be careful. But I do think the under 1.5 is a spot. That should be the main parlay piece. That's why it's my lock of the night play. I like the under 1.5. Would you take Prachnio takes? Would you take Prachnio takes to stay at his +260? I would take Prachnio inside the distance. If you want max value on him, you take him by KO. But yeah, he's live. He is live to crack the chin of Roundtree, who has been knocked down in the past before. So just be wary, please. Martin saying it's not how parlay bets work, bro. I don't think you understand what we're talking about, Martin. There is absolutely a way to hedge. If your entire leg hits all the way up to the main event before the main event starts, make sure you go in there and throw throw in Chiesa to cover that Magny loss. Jojo and I have something on Dana to be on this main card. They must, dude. They absolutely must. I'm truly there with you. I am right there with you. Let me speed through this shit. Okay, Martin, you should have had a hedge, blah, blah, blah. Matt Hudson, it's crazy how much they were hyping Praknio before the Alvi fight, and here we are. Yeah, 3 knockouts later. Again, the Ankalaev one, you can't be too mad about him. Ankalaev is an absolute beast. But yeah, I think Alvi, that one was a bad one, especially the way he knocked him out. Fucking so hilarious. That's really saying, honestly, you don't know how they judge the scoring. Let me get back to you. Again, it's like having a final score of a basketball game. It's going to be like 49-46 or 50-45. But if Connor wins, he's going to have to, if it goes to a judge's scorecard and you have -5.5, you need to get a 10-8 in there for Connor at some point. Time to get this year started, brother. I know it's not been your year to start, but we are only 2 events in, and I know you get a turnaround. Shout out to my guy, Will Martin. Always showing you, shout out to Will Martin, an OG of the game. If you guys don't already follow, make sure you guys go out there and follow him. Prab Jazz, that is actually my brother. Shout out to my brother hopping into the stream, showing your boys some love. Deep voice lock is definitely rare, so it's good luck today, if anything. Is it my mic? Is my mic fucking up? I hope it's not. But I did just also take a nap, so maybe that's what it is too. Glad it's not just me thinking that. I appreciate it. A plus, salute for the Salvetti show. The format is great. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. I was nervous about getting on that channel because he has such a loyal following, and I didn't want to disappoint those guys. But I think it came out great, and I can't wait to continue to make improvements on that show for sure. Average Joe, thoughts on Hooker by KO? I think that's the way he gets it done. Take that inside the distance line, though, as I think that the submission is live as well too. Z says MMA. That's not how points handicap works, Lock. It's not. It's the total of the points. So if they get 30-27 all cards, that's 9 points. A -3.5 handicap means they need to get a unanimous decision with at least 130. Oh, yes. You know what? He is absolutely right. I'm not sure why I had that. Why did I fuck that up? No, he is right. He is right. He is right. Z's MMA is absolutely right. I take that back. My apologies, guys. Z is on the ball there. Mitchell Davis, I like Chandler Hooker at -125. Talk me out of a big bet. Chandler Hooker at -125. What do you mean by that? Chandler Hooker inside the distance. Yeah, I think it's solid. I think both guys have finishing capabilities there. I think Hooker's the one that gets the finish, but yes, I do see a finish in that fight. -125 is not that bad of a line either. Yes. Thank you, Z. Thank you. Saving my show. I appreciate it. Who is your fave dog play on DraftKings? I do really like Antonio Carlos Jr. But again, I think Rodriguez is a solid spot if she's able to go out there and implement that game plan. I think if she wins, she's absolutely going to be optimal. I think if she wins, it could be inside the distance as well too. So my favorite play, like safer dog play, would be Antonio Carlos Jr. I think he goes out there, gets the takedowns, and gets that control time. Possibly live for a submission as well too, but I think he wins by decision. But ACJ is definitely one of the dogs that's on more of my lineups than not. Finesse God, video on Sal's channel was amazing. Hope you keep doing. Yes, Sal is more than encouraging of me to keep coming back onto that channel, and I'll be on there for the foreseeable future. There we go. I thank you, Z. Thank you, Z. If you had to make a wager on the Evloev fight, where are you going? It's got to be Evloev via decision. I know that's a little bit chalky as well too. Nick Lentz is a live dog. Don't get me wrong, but if you want a winner, I think it's going to be Evloev via decision. Not many books offer that. You're right. Gav HC, when's this fight? Oh, okay. We're gonna have more of these guys in the stream. The fights start in exactly. I think prelims start at 7 p.m. So you're talking about. Trying to do some quick math without looking like a complete dumbass here. Just about 5.5 hours. Yeah, just under 5.5 hours. That's when the fights start. If you want to lock, it's Antonio Carlos, Chandler, McGregor, Parlay. I don't know about a lock in terms of that. I'm on Carlos Jr., I'm on a Hooker, and I'm on McGregor, but I wouldn't call it a lock. Dogs are barking today. I do agree, brother. Joan, what's going on, buddy? I appreciate you hopping by and stopping on the chat. Thoughts on Poirier and McGregor together on the same team on DK? Usually you want to see that fight go to a decision to truly get the best out of that type of thing. Like I know you're talking about like stacking opponents or stacking a fight. I truly think that you highly benefit from it when this fight does go to decision. And a good indicator, and I want to shout out my guy Brad Apley, who's really helped me out with the DFS game. A good indicator in terms of whether this fight's going to go to decision is just look at the odds. Yeah, I mean, the fight to not go to decision is minus 410. So that should give you an indication that this fight is not going to the distance, or is at least not tracking to go to the distance. And I agree. So I think if you stack them together, you're going to get a low scoring side in Poirier again, or even McGregor if Poirier somehow goes out there and finishes him too. But I think it's going to be McGregor dusting him in that first round. You're not going to get many points off of Poirier there. Sajad is saying, hi, I'm Iranian. My name is Sajad. I appreciate you, Sajad. Thank you for coming out. Ned's MMA, really rooting for Chandler. He's a good dude and a win for him. Really spices up the division. I do agree. It adds a different caveat, especially if he goes out there and does it in dominant fashion as well. That would be best case scenario, but I still think Hooker takes this one. Ryan Kloon, Albazi is projected with 42% DK ownership. This seems a little high. I know Evloev is more expensive, but he's projected at 21%. Wouldn't you think to go against the grain and get some Evloev? My thing is, actually, you know what? I think Evloev has a higher chance of scoring more points than Albazi here, as I think that Albazi will win by decision as well. But we'll get more. I think we'll get more significant strikes out of Evloev than we will with Albazi. I think Albazi will try to get more control time, whereas Evloev could do either. He could get the takedowns and he can do the significant striking as well too. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea to get Evloev. But the thing is, he's up there, I think, in the 9,400 range. So that means you really have to dig down and look for a solid dog as well to cover the rest of the lineup, right? So if you can manage to make that work, I don't think it's bad. And I kind of understand why Albazi is 42% ownership. His price tag is nice, you know what I mean? And he has a high upside of winning too with takedowns and control time. But I think Evloev is definitely worth it. Tyson Jordan, do I order all pay-per-views? No, but I will order tonight's. I will order tonight's. And I think that might be a contrarian view here, but I do want to give back to this sport that's given me so much right now. And I know it doesn't really go to the fighters as much as people are saying, but if it's not for the UFC, I'm not on this stream. If it's not for the UFC, y'all aren't sitting in my chat chatting up with me. I don't have 220 people in the chat with me. I mean, I'm not able to make a second income if it's not for the UFC. So the least I can do is chip off a little bit for them and show them my appreciation. So yes, I will be buying the pay-per-view tonight. MMA Latino, I don't think Hooker rises to the occasion. Also, breathe. I'm trying to catch up with the chat, dude. I'm trying to catch up. I hate being this far behind. All right, Crackstream just changed this.com and ending it's still live. Interesting. Shout out. ACGI plus money is a great bet. I absolutely agree. I think he could go out there and grind out our guy. Bob's Burgers. Shout out to Bob's Burgers. Probably one of my wife's and mine's favorite shows that we like to watch together. We even have Bob's Burgers Jenga. But yeah, what do you think is the best parlay of the card? I didn't make an official parlay myself. Connor is a good spot on there, I think. You guys know I'm fading Hebos, so I'm not going to say Hebos. Surukian minus 700 adds little value, I think, to this parlay. Even Evloev at minus 600, I think, adds little value, but you can throw him in there. So maybe Evloev, Connor. And if you're able to parlay props or at least over unders, I would throw in that Roundtree and Pracknell under 1.5. I think that would be a good parlay. Hello, Tio. My bro got lungs for days. I'm trying. I'm almost caught up. I feel like I'm almost caught up, but you guys are still fucking killing it. Ryan Kloon, the problem with Evloev is you're going to suffer the rest of the lineup since he's over 9,000. Yes, that's absolutely a good point. That's the only downside about having Evloev up there at minus 9,400. I love one of the community trying to blaming you for losing their bet. You're right. It's not you guys hitting the place button. Yes, exactly. I'm trying to give you whatever information I got to help you guys. And sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right, but I feel like I'm much sharper than most guys, which is why people are coming out and supporting your boy. All right, I just need a Magni to complete an 8-fold Hail Mary parlay. So to put a 7-unit bet on KSN and it worked out brilliantly. Yeah, that's a good spot to be hedging out on. I don't blame you. Madhu is saying, can anyone tell me? I'm not answering these questions, guys. We had so many of you in the chat last night on the odd stream that I'm done. Okay, no idea what you're saying there. On the other hand, Albazi on the other hand is an underdog on DK. There aren't many underdogs hits on this card, so I expect something like 40%. Yes, I agree. Hello, Thomas. Robert Preb, he must be a great singer. I'm not a great singer. You don't want to hear my pipes, trust me. Dustin more tough now, so Connor might gas and get it knockout. Again, last time we saw him fight a power puncher, Michael Johnson, he wasn't able to handle it. I think that Connor is a much better striker and more power. I've got 4 units on McGregor. Is that straight and at minus 300? Because I think that's a bit of a steep of a line, and you might as well take him inside the distance to get better. McGregor is bad. I don't agree. Indonesia, what's going on, buddy? Robert Brown, I won't be surprised if the fight is fixed for a big payday. Everything is about money and politics. I'm not going to get into that. Tejas Malik, if your entire bet hits all the main card and you have the option to cash out, you can choose to use your profits to reinvest your final pick. Yes, I don't mind with that. If you have the option to cash out, please do so. Can you imagine playing a parlay and covering the last leg and it ends up in a draw? Yeah, that would suck. But you should it should end up as a void bet. So if anything, that leg gets voided. The whole sequence with the Prachnio was fucking hilarious, and the Alvi fight. I encourage everyone to go watch that. Yes, it was so funny for sure. Mike sounds good. All right, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. This guy keeps saying Mana, and that's actually my nickname, which is hilarious. Whatever. Sounds great. He just means you got a smooth little voice. Ooh, appreciate it. Should I do some voiceover work, guys? Dustin. Conor McGregor, salam alaikum from Kyrgyzstan. Shout out Kyrgyzstan. I can't believe we have a Kyrgyzstani Conor McGregor fan. That's rare, I think. Gavin Jones, betway odds for McGregor is nothing, but I don't know how to bet all the way down from South Africa. Please help. Yeah, I'm not sure which bookies you have available down there in South Africa. I think you should hit the Googles and find out what other bookies you have access to. John Gully, sorry if you covered the fight already, but thoughts on Surukian versus Fravolla? I think it's going to be a lot tougher of a fight than the minus 750 indicates. I think Fravolla is a bit of a live dog, but I'm not willing to take the shot myself. I do think that Surukian does win this fight via decision. So maybe even taking the decision prop is the best way to go about betting that fight. But I do think he wins. Again, putting him in a parlay at minus 700, I think he adds little value. We've seen some flaws in his game, especially if he's not able to get the fight to the ground, and he's going up against a solid wrestler, Matt Fravolla, as well, who's going to make it hell on the feet if he really can't get him down. So especially if he starts sucking wind in that third round too. So just be very wary about Surukian tonight. I think Fravolla can beat Surukian. Decent bet DK play. I do agree. You should have a little bit of exposure on Fravolla, especially at the line that he's at, and a little bit of a sprinkle on him at those crazy odds is not a bad idea. But I do think Surukian wins. If you're talking about value, though, you are getting value on Fravolla. Rodriguez is a great chance. I appreciate it. She's the taller, longer fighter. Sometimes that doesn't mean the best in terms of like for takedowns. You know what I mean? Usually the fighter with the lower hips is able to get the takedown, especially with Hibas being a judo specialist, that could come into play. But yeah, she should she uses her kicks well. If she uses her distance well, she should be able to keep Hibas on the outside. And I think a lot of people might have some egg on their face afterwards. And yeah, Rodriguez is a beast, man. She is a legitimate striker that has pop on her shots, has great Muay Thai as well. So if they clinch up, I could see her kind of controlling that position and landing some good knees and good elbows in there and making it a little bit tougher for Hibas to get this fight to the ground. 09, Conor by first round, fucking knockout. I tend to agree with you, brother. Also, one thing about Hibas, I know if she loses, especially if she loses by getting taken down, I'm going to be the fucking laughing stock. But you got to put yourself out there. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say. I still waiting for a fight. Yes, the fight is in 6 hours. You're gonna be waiting for a while, buddy. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Dustin. Good. PayPal, not too late to back away from that Rodriguez pick. Nah, man. I'm sticking there. PayPal my money. My lock of the night play, again, it's not the full 5 units that I normally put, but I did go 3.5 units on the under 1.5 in the Roundtree and Prachnio fight. I got minus 166. That's the spot that I'm looking at. Fight time is in 6 hours. You seem to have picked up this DK thing pretty fast. Yeah, dude, I gotta give a big shout out to Brett Apley, Daily Fan MMA. He's kind of been my gold mine. I'm always going to shout him out. He's really got me prepped up and ready to go to tackle the DFS world, as well as Scott Shelvach. Shout out to Scott Shelvach, a big help for me as well too. I'm rating these guys whenever I have any questions because I don't want to look like a complete dumbass, and I feel like I'm getting a good grip of the game, and I really can't wait to get deeper into it. I would stack a fight if you expect to lose at least one fight in all your lineups. Yes, he's right. Dustin from Indonesia. All right. What time is this fight? I'm not going to keep answering these goddamn questions because I want to catch up to the live. Where are we at? I'm just going to squeeze. I'm going to run by these guys that just keep asking for the link. What time? Fuck you guys. Fender Jazz. I just hate to give money event over others. Fender Jazz is saying I hate to give money to a Conor event over others, but the free streams start to freeze up on his pay-per-views. That's a thing there as well too. And I will try to go out there and get some more pay-per-views. I'm not gonna lie, not just because it's a Conor event, but I'm doing that. John Gillian, any favorite props you're attacking today for for parlay. I'm not a huge parlay prop better. Again, the parlay that I really like tonight is Rodriguez by KO plus 1350. That's very steep, I know. Very low likelihood of that happening, but I think there's a ton of value on that. But yeah, I wish I could help you out there. Stream is freezing. Oh. You want to have a link? What do you think about the streamers? What's your stream? Do you think Dustin has a good enough channel with one under the phone? I'm not saying here, bro. Definitely because sorry, I'm just trying to get through these so I can catch up. And pick out any questions I think are deserving of being talked about. There's a likelihood of that happening, but I think Rodriguez has a better chance than 26%. I'm not going to answer dumbass questions, so I'm just letting you guys know that. Early thoughts, just talking about a little bit in the future. Pat Guido is saying, any early thoughts on Sandhagen minus 410 over Edgar as a parlay piece on the next UFC card? I think he wins. I think he outstrikes Edgar. And I don't think he makes it as close as the Pedro Munoz fight, which is why some people might have a little bit of issues with taking Sandhagen at that juice line. Sandhagen fights much differently than Pedro Munoz, and I think he should be able to accumulate enough striking and kind of clown on Edgar. So I don't mind that minus 410, to be honest. Do I think Daniel Hooker can stuff Chandler's takedowns? So statistically speaking, since Daniel Hooker moved up to 155 pounds, he stuffed 19 out of 21 takedown attempts. Now, how many of those fighters, are of Michael Chandler's level in terms of takedowns? I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that even if Hooker gets taken down, I think he could do some damage off his back. Chandler is more of a lay-in prayer than he is a ground and pounder, so I think Hooker can stay active enough off his back to kind of nullify whatever Chandler has coming from him from that top position. But I think Hooker can do a decent job in terms of stuffing those takedowns. That's a lot of distance to cover against a big guy like Dan Hooker. A lot of distance. You're going to have to eat some shit on the way in. Yes, please, Brian Anthony. We have over 200 guys in here. And how many likes do I have? Let me go to my YouTube page real quick. 61 likes. Okay. Not as bad as I originally thought. But yeah, hit that like button. Trust me, it helps me a lot more than you guys understand. Dustin third round TKO, possibly. Asa Win is saying hi from Morocco. Shut up, buddy. Appreciate it. Yes. Thomas Jordan is saying Morocco has a new James Bond. He absolutely does. I'm not entertaining questions about conspiracies and people being bought out, so don't even bother with that shit. I'm blasting through these a lot quicker than I thought. I think. Tommy Fallon is asking, do you think the Dan and Michael fight will stay in the feet? If you think no, do you think Hooker can hold Chandler's wrestling? I believe it will stay on the feet, and I absolutely believe that Chandler's gonna try to shoot for a couple takedowns here. That is absolutely a possibility. So he might get taken down, but I think he's going to have a hard time holding Dan Hooker down. And then I think at a certain point, Chandler's going to start to get desperate, and he might leave that neck out there. So it might be a little bit of issues for him for sure. So yeah, I like Hooker here, and I don't think the wrestling is going to be too bad. Sally boy, what's going on? Will you teach me how to tile a background as slick as yours? Maybe when I come down to there, wherever the hell you're at, I forgot where exactly you're at in the States, but maybe when this COVID shit blows over, I'll help you out. But it's easy, dude. Come on. It's easy. Cash the bet. Dustin is tough, saying he's lasted 4 rounds with Justin Gaethje, not getting KO'd in the first round. Again, Gaethje does hit hard, you're right, but he doesn't have that precision power of a Conor McGregor, and I think that's where the difference is. Demonstrate, what's going on, brother? Probably one of my diehard viewers every fight day coming out and showing your boys support. What are your thoughts on the Armin fight? I like him via decision at minus 170. Inside the distance is plus 170. I lean the decision. Minus 135 is not that bad of a lineup. But I'd kind of look down on anybody that's going out there and willingly parlaying him at that minus 700 range. You're not getting enough value at all. The decision prop is the way to go, in my opinion. He's saying, Cash the Bet is saying, you got to fade the public with this. I see that angle, and if it works out for you, good luck. I'm almost caught up. Bob's Burgers, a real MMA fan will never be able to watch fights in subpar quality. Yes, you are correct. Tejas is saying, frankly, this is a horrible card to bet on. The previous card was fire. Yeah, I got scorched in the last fight, in that last card. I do agree that this is a tougher card to bet, which is why I'm going a little bit more low volume with the bets that I'm putting out there. If Connor wins, I guess Khabib comes back. I don't know about that 100%. Mitch Fearing, did you see Sarah McMahon working out on the damn plane? I swear, I think she's my lock of the night. I just can't trust women's fighters. That was insane, man. Her work ethic is bar none. Like, she is out there putting in the fucking work. My only issue is her cardio. She was able to, it held up well against Lena Landsberger last time around, but she only needed 3 takedowns. And, Lena Landsberger was not able to get back to her feet. So with Juliana Pena, you're getting a much better jiu-jitsu player than Lena Landsberger. So she might make it a little bit harder for Sarah McMahon to settle on top. And that's where my question marks come in. You're getting a decent line on Sarah McMahon. I don't think she finishes either here. So even taking her to win by decision, you're probably getting some good value taking that plus money. But near a pick'em line, I think Sarah McMahon isn't a horrible bet, but I'm staying the fuck away from that fight. Twin Hawk is saying, where can I get merch, bro? Love the cap. Also, can Tavares keep shoot face at bay and outpoint him in it? First of all, I have something in the works. I'm trying to finalize something right now, but I do have some merch coming in, and I will let you guys know as soon as I do. If anything, I might go live on YouTube first and announce it to you guys so you guys get first dibs. And in terms of whether Tavares can keep Shufe at bay, I'm not 100% sure he can. Like, I don't think he has the pop that a Uriah Hall does. I don't think he has the knockout ability and the power to really give Shufe too much problems on the outside. And I think he's going to have a lot of trouble keeping him on the outside. I could absolutely see Antonio Carlos Jr. going in there and just rushing him, pushing him up against the cage and getting those takedowns. So it's the damage that I think that Tavares won't be able to accrue here to keep Shoeface at bay, which is why I like Shoeface, especially at plus money. Average Joe is saying, early thoughts on Volkov and Reem. I haven't done the work on this fight yet. I did see Reem is around plus 150. I like that spot. There might be a little bit of recency bias on Volkov in terms of how easily he went out there and dismantled Walt Harris. But again, Reem did the same thing. And there's obviously Reem chin issues at all points, but I feel like we could say he's answered those as of late. In terms of the takedowns and top control, I think Reem could absolutely do that to Volkov here. And I think that would be the safest way for him to approach this fight. But yeah, early thoughts on liking Reem. Sarah McMahon wins by decision. Could have happened, but Juliana Pena, solid jiu-jitsu player, even though she got choked out by freaking Jermaine Durandamy last time. I think she got a little bit too overzealous with trying to get that takedown and left that neck out there. I'm sure she learned her thing there. So if Sarah McMahon wins by decision, it'll come more so by like an arm triangle choke, as we've seen in her previous fights. And I'm not sure if she'll be able to pull that here against Juliana Pena. But again, I'm staying the fuck away from that fight. Let's see. Getting through this chat, a lot of Poirier hook Connor talk, but I feel like I've already gone on to that. SKD saying he feels the over 2.5 in the main event. I'm not 100% sure. Not a bad line either, so I wouldn't bang on you for taking a shot there, but I truly think he gets done in one. Yes, cast a bet is correct. It's great plus money to take the over 2.5. Okay, the more people that start asking what time the fight starts, I'm gonna block these guys. I want to clean up the chat here. I don't want this shit in the fucking chat anymore. It's great having these numbers in the stream, but I'm done with this shit. Tommy Fallon, early thoughts on Gilbert Burns against Usman. You think they're going to box or wrestle the entire time, or who do you think, or do you think they'll mix it up? I think this is one of the tougher matches for Kamaru Usman. Now you have the factor of the thing that they're trading partners. Even if you look back at earlier Kamaru Usman, you see Gilbert Burns in his corner. Like, he knows his game inside and out, right? So that's one thing. Burns' striking is definitely getting better, and I might even put him at a slight edge over Kamaru Usman. He has some power in his hands too. And then in the grappling realm, we know how high level Gilbert Burns is with his jiu-jitsu. So I'm very much intrigued to see how Kamaru Usman goes out there and approaches this fight. He's moved his training camp over to Denver so he can kind of stay away from Gilbert. He spent some time at Fortis MMA, but I believe his main head coach is going to be Trevor Whitman, who's an absolute mastermind, and I think they can devise a solid enough game plan. Had my energy drink ready to go as well too, just in case I needed a pick me up. But you guys came out in fucking droves. You guys are the energy drink that I needed. But yeah, I'm going with Kamaru Usman. Is there a line out on that yet? Let me see what we're getting here on Kamaru. Minus 245, a little bit too steep for me, as I do believe that the toughest matchups for Kamaru Usman is Gilbert Burns and Colby Compton. But if you give me like minus 300 on Kamaru Usman against anybody else, I'll eat that juice or I'll drink that juice. Jander Fez, just to stop the thread early premium. Yeah, thank you. Fender, it's not going to work. These guys are going to hop in and out of the stream. I'm going to block these guys if they keep asking these goddamn questions. Under 1.5 in the McGregor fight. I don't mind it. I think that's the spot, as I believe McGregor gets that first round or early KO. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure right away. Nick West is saying McMahon versus Murdoch at plus 171 will most likely be the play. I like it. I'm staying away from the McMahon fight. You guys already know that I'm on Murdoch, so I'm there with you. Name brand is saying Jojo or I. Again, another fight that I'm staying the fuck away from, but I favor I a little bit more. But again, could be a very, very close fight. Again, I would much rather you guys just stay the fuck away from that fight. Another guy asking what time the fight is. Blocked. Justin T is saying that he only has Roundtree Pragnio under 1.5 minus 190. Any other ways to bet this under at a better price? I'd say maybe fight doesn't start round 2, but again, we kind of got screwed last time with Villanueva and Mohea. They needed that extra 2.5 minutes of the second round. You could chase the Roundtree inside the distance or Roundtree KO. I'm not 100% sure what that line's at currently right now, but I think it's worth the chalk, man. Again, statistically speaking, these guys hit at a 73% clip in terms of the under 1.5. I think it's like 22 out of the 30 fights. Yeah, so they do have a good chance of hitting this. More guys asking when the goddamn fight are, and they're getting blocked. Jordan Perrines blocked. Shangwang Kong, thanks for coming by the channel, but blocked. Yeah, Chris Lure, I'm right there with you. I don't hate McGregor per se, but I always look for a reason to bet against him. But yeah, this one's good. Bob's Burgers is asking, do I think Ilov will win by decision or KO? I think by decision, but his hands are looking good as of late. So it wouldn't entirely surprise me, but it seems like he's just getting comfortable there, still trying to get the pop on his shots. So I think the decision prop is probably the better way to go. Jonathan Runs, I do think Murdoch wins. I think he's the better striker. I think Sanchez might come out there early, start to look to strike because he had such success in his last fight, but he's a little bit wild. I think Murdoch will be able to clip him and catch him, and maybe not finish him, but it might turn Sanchez back into a wrestler, and then I think we do enough of damage in those first 2 rounds to at least squeak out a decision here. Yep, Dat Playboy. Shout out to my guy, Dat Playboy, a huge advocate of a guy lock of the night. Yes, casuals. I'm blocking him. I'm blocking him. I'm doing my best. Greg Love, weird how 11 fight card is so hard to crack. Most fights are close. I agree. And even the fights where the favorites are huge, there's a solid argument for the underdog as well. Thomas Jordan asking, does Jones beat Stipe? I think so. But I thought DC would dummy on Stipe as well too. So maybe I continuously go out there and underrate Stipe's game. Is getting ACJ and Rodriguez in the same lineup okay? I wouldn't put them on like multiple lineups together. But I think that ACJ is more reliable here. But if Rodriguez does come out there, she's going to break that slate, guys. I highly expect her to be very low owned. And I think that if she pulls it off, she could pull it off inside the distance as well, too. And she will end up being optimal. So having a little bit of Rodriguez and maybe an ACJ on a lineup or two is nice. But I'd be very, very careful about having them on multiple lineups. Thomas Jordan, Hooker KO's Dilbert. Oh yeah, that was a while ago though. Gilbert is definitely one of those fighters that has made much more improvement for sure. My brother is asking, do you think Dustin has learned enough from the last fight to warrant him making it past the 2.5? He gets hit too much, man, and he gets hit too much even in his other fights. That's the issue. If he continues to go out there and get hit, you're not going to be able to stand up to that counter power. That's my issue here. Do I have a booger? I think it's just my middle. It's my middle part, guys. Come on. Don't make me feel embarrassed on my fucking online stream. Dustin's too slow for Connor. I do agree, Thomas Jordan. What site you use to check potential fight betting lines? Thomas Jordan is saying odds checker, bestfightodds.com. That's my go-to. They have a ton of different lines, ton of different websites, and doing that. Do you think Hooker wins by decision or KO? I could see Chandler running into one of those knees. Yeah, I'm going more so with the KO thing here. I think he's great at the current odds as well if you bet him straight. But yeah. Burger DeBranter is saying, is there any chance the main fight goes the length? I'd be surprised. Again, the odds suggest that it's a 3-1 dog line that you're getting for the fight to go to a decision. I just don't see it happening given the styles of both of these guys. We are almost up to the live chat finally. Armand should win, but at minus 700, I don't like making locks anything worse than minus 350, and you're pretty much doubling that. So, yeah, no, I'm not taking him at that shot. Joe Bisky, thank you for coming by the stream, Blocked. Don't ask me where to find the fucking stream. I'm not giving it to you guys. Again, I'm buying the stream tonight anyway. Not the stream, buying the pay-per-view. Chris Wise is saying, what's going on? I got a Hooker Connor parlay on top of my tails on you. Should be fun. I hope to come through for you, my brother. My last two events have been kind of poor. Yeah, so I'm hoping I'm really able to turn it around this time for you guys. Chris Lure is asking who we give Max Bless next. You know what would be a very interesting fight? He probably gets the title shot. You know what I mean? Actually, that's probably what's going to happen. I don't think they give him another fight unless Mr. Zabit Magomed Sharipov wants to come out of his hole and fight our guy, Max Bless Holloway. I don't think he's going to take that fight, but I think a title shot is next for sure. Fender Jazz is saying, I had a good 2020, partly thanks to you and the boys, but it would have been much better if I didn't fall into chasing after early losses. You don't live bet much, Luck. I'm not much of a live better. I like to sit back and just watch the fights and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? The last couple cards I have just been sitting in my studio watching the fights on my bigger screen, and I have like Bookmaker up and ready to go in case I want to make a live bet. But again, I don't like chasing. Once you make your bets, you make your bets. That's it. Chasing is a good way to get into the hole, and I'm not trying to get in the hole. I do not recommend tilting. Do not tilt, guys. The Holy Watch is asking, or the Holy Wada is asking, how do you feel about Chandler? I think he gets knocked out, man. I like him as a guy. I think he's a great fighter, but I think he's too far past his prime. He's 34, going to be 35 in April. He should have came over to the UFC like 5 years ago, and he would have been way more successful. Matty G, any big dogs you like? I actually think Marina has a good chance here. And Sanchez. I'm on Marina Rodriguez myself. I bet her at plus 282. I did sprinkle a little bit on her KO prop at plus 1350. I do think she's a good dog. And I think that Antonio Carlos Jr. is a great dog as well, too. Juan Vallecchi has this thing that he keeps saying he wants to fornicate. So I'm going to put him in timeout and tell him to clean up his act before I actually give him the block. Seth Brisky is absolutely right. Statistically, live bets have better winning percentages, but it's on you in terms of sitting there and waiting for these lines to come out and just telling it that way. For me, I like to have a little bit of get a little bit of it up and then just sit back and watch the fights and not have to worry about where I'm putting my money because my money's already been placed. Just saying. Ryan Kloon, Hebus, coach, father says they're currently weighing in at 143.5 pounds. If true is this cause for Kristen, like fighters hydrate, man. Like they weighed in at 115 pounds, so she almost put in close to 30 pounds. If anything, that might like slow her down later in the fight. You know what I mean? Obviously, it will help her with maybe completing takedowns, but again, putting on that amount of weight is kind of sketchy, wouldn't you guys think? Like, I don't know. Gary Philbrick, best low price DK play. Again, I think Antonio Carlos Jr. is around the 74, 7,500. I think he's going to be on the majority of my lineups. And then again, I think Rodriguez could be a slate breaker. So Yeah, that's possible. Chances of an Albazi finish. I think it's possible. Zalgas Zumagulov is very, very talented. He's very, very skilled. The only way I see Albazi finishing this is via sub, and I don't think that we'll see that either. I think we'll just see him control the top position, get these takedowns time and time again, and kind of just shut down the striking game of Zumagulov. So I like Albazi, but I think that fight goes to a decision. Early thoughts on Holland versus Brunson. You guys know that cashed that huge ticket on Derek Brunson fading Edmund Shabazian earlier last year. This could be another spot. Yeah, I might actually look at Brunson here. I got to see what the odds are. Let me pull up the odds real quick. See if we have a line on this yet. Brunson plus 150. Oof. I need slightly better odds. Maybe as the fight gets closer, we'll see the steamage come in on Kevin Holland. But I'll sit back. That fight's not for another 3 months, though. Or 2 months, I should say. March 20th. Where are we at? Bro, what did I think of little ego Umar Nurmagomedov? Shout out to Greg Love for the question once again. He looked great. I think a lot of people, Cody especially, was thinking that that fight was going to go to a decision, but he showed great aggressiveness, very controlled composure as well too. And I think he could absolutely be a problem for these guys down at that lower weight class. Amar missed weight. Could he gas? Possibly. Again, I kind of threw that narrative out there in the last couple of streams that I did, that I think he has a bit of a cardio issue. Fravolla could absolutely push him to that brink, and the fact that he missed weight could make it a little bit difficult too. Alexa Grasso or Macy Barber. Very tough one to call, man. I gotta look into that. I think my pre-tape lean is going to be Macy Barber, but very, very close fight. Let's see what the odds are on that one as well too. I'm glad you guys are bringing up these later fights. Ooh, Barber plus 120. That doesn't intrigue me as a dog, but I got to do the tape. So wait for my podcast to come out on that fight before you guys truly make a shot. How am I crazy? I think Hooker wins that fight. How am I crazy? Tell me how I'm crazy. Look at that. I'm almost caught up to the chat. What's going on? Dan, man, what's up, Lock? My guy is telling me the over 1.5 in Connor Dustin. I think Dustin makes this a dog fight. McGregor pieces him up in the third round. It could happen, but again, I don't know how long Poirier is going to continue to stand in front of him and eat those shots. It's going to be tough. Robot Chicken Wings is saying, I agree with all your picks, but Connor and Marina, you're still the best. Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. God, I hope this fucking Rodriguez play comes through. And again, I'm not just trying to pick it to be that contrarian guy, to be that guy that said, I told you so. But you got to go out on a limb if you truly see a spot that you can capitalize on. And I'll talk about the narrative again that I started off this stream with in terms of why I think Rodriguez would win. But I'll do it once I catch up to the live chat. Matty G, no, thank you for asking the question and stopping by. And the least you can do, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Appreciate that. As my guy, Thomas Jordan, is saying, make sure you guys give me a like. It does help out a lot, helps me out with the algorithm and gets it going. Kamal, what's going on, brother? He's saying he's eagerly waiting this matchup. Surely it will be match of the year. It's only 3 fights into the year, but it's a very good matchup for sure. Very highly touted. Is Fravolla fighting anyone? Yeah, he's fighting Surukian. Harry Johnson, man, everyone seems to be fading Jessica Ai. Calderwood was really growing on me until her last fight. Yeah, stylistically, though, I think this is a much different fight than when Calderwood was going up against Jennifer Maia. But I see this primarily being a stand-up fight, and I think that Jessica Ai could come away with it. From a DraftKings perspective, too, I think that Calderwood could actually be a little bit live here. Like, if you look back at her a couple of last fights, especially the ones that she's winning, she's like scoring in the high 80s and in the high 90s. So she's up there in volume. This I believe this style of the volume kind of striker that she is really helps with the DraftKings style, and then she could mix in a couple of takedowns in there as well too. So as a DK play, I kind of lean more towards Joanne Calderwood, as I believe she has a higher upside, especially if she wins. And then with the Jessica Ai side, again, betting wise, I kind of lean with her, but I'm not betting her at all. Anthony Roman, when does the fight start? Should I let him know? Oh, I can't. Should I let him know? He's a subscriber as well too. Ooh, I don't like blocking guys that are subscribers. The fights start in 6 hours. 5 hours. I lied. 5.5 hours. Okay. You ask that again, I'm blocking you. Ooh, look at that. We are caught up to the live chat. I can finally talk to you guys live. Yama is saying Marina all day. I hope so, dude. I hope so. Again, it's a small shot. It's only a 1-unit play. So don't put your fucking life savings on. That's all I'm going to say. Mustafa is saying Dustin is going to win. Mark his words. All right. Brother Jones, he's saying he really likes McMahon, and I don't blame you. I see the meat on the bone there for McMahon, but it's just her cardio that gives me a little bit, it gets me a little bit skeptical. Harry Johnson is saying Prackney owned. He's getting Prackney owned today, hopefully. Then again, as long as the under 1.5 hits, I don't give a fuck who gets knocked out. It's Booty saying I got Rodriguez in a few DraftKings lineups. I didn't see your upside until I heard your thoughts. Yeah, dude. I again, it's the ability to keep it on the feet, and I think she will have the ability to do so. My brother is asking me a little off topic. What would you say was your best win on a single bet parlay? Uh, it's harder to think of the ones that I've like won the most money on, but in terms of ones that I thought I was sharpest on was the Derek Brunson win last year. I even bet the round 3 prop that comes through in the plus 2,500 range, I think it was. And then obviously the one that's kind of given me a little bit of fame the last couple of weeks was the Jay Collier via decision fight over Gian Vellante plus 500. That was a big one for me as well too. Is he on Rodriguez KO? I am on Rodriguez KO. Here's the lock. Me via KO. The next guy to ask about the start time in another 30 seconds. I'm putting all my money on you, Fender. All my money is on you. Tristan Schurhauser, do you see Hibas shooting, or will it be more of a stand-up fight? She's gonna be shooting. She's absolutely gonna be shooting. There's no way she goes out there and tries to outstrike Marina Rodriguez. Zero chance. Zero chance. Maybe she tries to test it out. Maybe she tries to test the water to try to like prove some people wrong. But I think once she gets cracked, she's gonna want to go to her wrestling. So I'd be very surprised if Hibas goes out there and strikes with her for 15 minutes. Not happening. Ryan Wilson asking Albazi or Zalgas Zumagulov. I'm going Albazi, staying away from the fights, but I do like Albazi. I like his grappling approach. I think he's strong enough. I think he's a young guy, 27 years old, still making improvements on a fight-to-fight basis. And we've seen him, Zalgas's past fights, guys like Ali Bagautinov and Tigir Ulanbekov, especially that Tigir fight. He lost that fight. But in the Ali Bagautinov fight, Ali was having massive amounts of success getting him down in those first couple rounds. Unfortunately for him, it was a 5-round fight. Zalgas was able to turn it up in the later rounds. But now that this is a 3-round fight, I can see Albazi being successful at those takedowns, winning those rounds, and then winning all the judges' scorecards. Chris Lure is asking, do I play any UFC for PlayStation? I didn't get the new one yet. I just don't have enough time to play, right? Like the games that I do play, like I like to throw in NBA 2K21 every now and then. And then my single player games, I just wrapped up Ghost of Tsushima recently, but that took me a while to finish because I've just been so busy with all the breakdowns and shows and shit that I'm doing. I just recently started the Avengers game, but I want to put a little bit more time into that. I just, again, haven't had the chance. When I do have time, those are the games that I kind of play. Shiny Chief, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you stopping by. Locks on a blocking tear right now. Don't test him. Yes. Don't ask me what time the fucking fights are. It's done. It's not happening. How did I fall so far back on the thing already? Generals is saying Mahmoud is the truth. I agree. Brian Anthony is saying don't put your faith in 40-year-old women. Yeah, he has a point there, but I think our wrestling is just so strong. But again, I'm not betting on it myself. Favorite UFC fighter? Question from Jessica Gatas. Currently favorite UFC fighter. I really like Movsar Evloev. I don't know why. And Damir Ismagulov. Those are my top 2 guys in terms of like prospects that I truly believe that have championship potential. In terms of favorite fighters, man, it's kind of harder for me to really track that down. Skeeter Rock is saying, Vamos, Rodriguez. I hope that she comes through. Hey, Capita, you know what time the fight starts? Blocked. Thomas Jr., do you think Connor Jr. KOs Mini Blast? Mini Blast has a little bit of age on him, so he might be the smarter fighter, but give them a couple years and then throw them in there. I think Connor Jr. has him. Dasher Hunter is saying Ottman was the lock. Personally, I only had a 0.5 unit play on him to win inside round 3 or inside round 1 at plus 300. I thought I was getting some value there, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. Hartball Man, Yo Jay, you here be. What's going on, buddy? Raj 27. Even if Connor finishes Poirier in second round, we say, but will that equal the value given his price? I think round 1 or round 2, you're getting the value on Connor. Just saying. Hey. Matty G, Hebas takedowns could stuff ahead of arm throws, which I think Marina can defend. Yeah. Again, Carla Esparza was landing double legs. She was landing high crotches. Like, she's a lifelong wrestler. Hebas is a judo player, a jiu-jitsu player, but she needs to get into that clinch position, which is where I truly think Rodriguez will have success in beating her up and roughing her up. Hebas is 143 pounds today. Yep, it is what it is. Can't really say much about that. Hebas does have a nice smile. I do agree with that. The Holy Water is asking how I feel about Hamza Chimaev. I think the guy has a ton of high upside. I think that he could definitely be a contender, but I need to see him against Leon Roberts first. I need to see him against, somebody not named Gerald Meerschaert, somebody not named who's the fucking other guy, John Phillips, and not named Reese McKee. Perfectly stylistic matchups for him there. But yeah, I need to. Leon Edwards will be a great barometer for us for sure. Tristan Schuhauser, what do you think happened to Tanner Bosner in his last fight? I bet on him and was let down. I was let down as well too. He just didn't throw enough. You know what I mean? And that's his style. He's a volume heavyweight. And Andrei Arlovsky is a volume heavyweight. But I truly thought with Bosner, we would see somebody that knows that Arlovsky is a volume striker as well too. And he would go out there and throw more, but he just did not. He just did not. John Gillian, sneaky play. I did say this on the Salvetri show that I dropped. I think my sneaky spot is Marina Rodriguez. In terms of an underdog that I'm more confident in, that I feel more confident in terms of would secure the victory, is Antonio Carlos Jr., but I think he's going to be highly owned as well too. But in terms of a sneaky play, if she pulls it off, I think Marina Rodriguez definitely has a higher upside than Pragnio, who then again I do think he gets knocked out, but if he gets a knockout, it's going to come in the first round, and he's going to have he's going to be on the optimal lineup. But I think Rodriguez is a better shot of getting that victory. Big fan of Paul Felder. I thought he beat Hooker. I'm in agreement with you. I thought Paul Felder won that fight as well. What do you think is next for him? Not taking short notice fight. That fight that he took against RDA was really rough. I'm not sure, man. Put him up against another striker. I don't know. Maybe if Michael Chandler loses, we get Paul Felder, Michael Chandler. That wouldn't be that bad. Mitch Fearing, I like the fact that Marina held her own against Esparza's wrestling. I don't think Hebas will be able to get Marina down to the ground at will, and all she needs is enough time on the feet to break her. I agree, man. Carlos Esparza absolutely has the better wrestling. So how Rodriguez goes from minus 200 against a better wrestler and arguably beats her to a plus 280 against somebody who doesn't have as good wrestling. Obviously, Hebas does have better jiu-jitsu than Carlos Esparza, but how do you get that jiu-jitsu going? You need to get the takedowns. That's the main thing. Dasher saying his favorite fighter is Jake Paul. Dat Playboy saying he should be named MMA Block of the Night after the stream. Yeah, dude, don't be coming into this shit asking me where the stream is, because I'm not giving it to you guys anymore. Well, I'd never gave it to you guys to begin with, but I'm not chatting with that shit too. Gary Philbrick is saying, check out Last of Us 2, one of the best games I've ever played. I won game of the year. Yes, I did play the first one, but I got caught up on one of these things and I just never ended up going back to it. So I will eventually, when I have more time on my hands. Last of Us is definitely on my list of getting back into, and I'll definitely get into the second game as well. Nate Diaz versus Paul Felder is the fight to make. I'd be surprised to see Nate Diaz actually take that fight. I think they're trying to line up Nate Diaz with Justin Gaethje. I think that's the fight that they're talking about. My brother is saying if Khamzat can truly reach his potential, is on Khabib's level. He could surpass Khabib's level in terms of, like, Khabib goes out there and smashes dudes, but he's had fights where he goes out there and grinds guys out too, right? Khamzat smashes the minute he gets you down. That's the difference there. So that's why I like Khamzat. Do I think Carlos Felipe will be a top 5 fighter? I do not. After that performance against Justin Tafa, I was kind of let down by him. He just seemed a little bit too lackadaisical in there. Harry Johnson is saying, what happens if Hooker and Poirier win tonight? They could absolutely get lined up for a title shot against each other, because if either of them will win, I don't think we see Khabib come back. And then Khabib's probably going to give up the title, and then they could just actually, you know what? They just fought. What am I talking about? I don't know. Maybe Hooker against again, there's Gaethje out there, there's Ferguson still out there, Charles Oliveira, maybe Poirier against Charles Oliveira for the title. I'd be down for that shit. That's what I'm down for. Greg Love is saying, by the way, this will be the first lock of the night of 2021. The other ones were in the day. It doesn't count. I agree. I'm blaming it because I should change my name to Lock of the Morning. Maybe I would have had better fucking chances. The Holy Water is saying Michael Chandler is not going to lose. I think otherwise. Brian Anthony is saying Hibas is a black belt in judo. That's how she gets the takedowns. You are correct in that aspect, in that assessment, sir. But again, to get that judo going, you got to get into the clinch. And I think the meaner person in the clinch here is going to be Marina Rodriguez, who has a mean Muay Thai clinch. And even in that game, she does pummel very well. And I hope she is able to stop it. We'll see what happens. Cash the Bet is saying the only lock of the night is the fight starts at 7 p.m. Other than the fact that I have Pragnio and Roundtree under 1.5, that's my lock of the night play. Justin T is saying, how many of my DK friends am I splitting the 200K with? We'll see. We'll see. Uncle Hoagie, I'm assuming coming in a little bit late. Thoughts on Murdoch Sanchez? I got a small bet on Mahmoud Murdoch. I think he keeps the fight on the feet. I think he outstrikes Sanchez, and he, just makes it quite dominant on the feet. I'll give you a pass because you're a subscriber. The fight starts in 5.5 hours. 4.5 hours now. Sorry. I don't think it's new Conor McGregor. I think it's just a matchup that he has in front of him. Dustin Poirier and him have been very buddy-buddy. He donated $500,000 to Dustin Poirier's charity, so it's good. They're good to go. Fender Jazz was saying, I was so psyched for Otman, one of my favorite prospects and my first bet of the night. You think he'll end up in Bellator collecting corpses? Probably. But he could also be fighting over there at Brave CF. UAE Warriors is a big thing over there. He's a huge star over there. Him and his brother have like 800,000 Instagram followers. Like, they have it made over there, and they're good to go. Bear Mullings is saying half year on Conor round 1 finish, quarter units on round 2 to 5 finish, round 1 and 2 if you lose 0.1, but plus 300 is money. Yeah, I could see that approach as well too. Prab is saying, I think the difference is also he'd be a little bit more marketable because of the trash talk style. Similar it could be, but I feel there's a little more something different behind his words. Yeah, he backs up. The difference between Khamzat and any other like scorching prospect that we've had is he has the most dominant style in MMA, which is taking these guys down and smashing their face in. So I think that's why he's a little bit more marketable as well. Raj27, you think Poirier is the better place since McGregor's been away from the octagon for a while? McGregor's been training, though. That's the thing. Like, it is an angle to take, which is kind of scaring me a little bit too, but he has been training. He's definitely been training. Obviously, getting live rounds is different than training, but I don't know, man. Poirier's taken a massive amounts of damage in that amount of time too, so that's another bit of concern here. SKD, Ilia Topuria is one of my favorite young fighters. Yes, absolutely, hard as nails. I'm with you right there. I remember backing Ilia Topuria when he fought on Cage Warriors against Brian Bouland in a main event, and he was the dog there. I took a shot on him and it came through for us. Very, very high on him as well too. His hands are very much coming together too. The one thing that a lot of people were touting on him when he came into the UFC was his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling. But he showed us he had hands in that last fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses as well too. He's saying if Conor wins, will he fight Khabib? I don't think so, man. I'd be surprised if Khabib actually gets convinced into taking that fight again. It's Booty is saying Chris Daukaus or Alexei Oleinik. I think Daukaus, man. I think he has decent enough jiu-jitsu that if this fight does hit the ground, he should be okay. But I think he will do a good job of keeping it on the feet. And the one improvement that we've been seeing from him as of late, especially from the Rodrigo Nascimento fight, is he has hands, baby. He's trimming down. He's trying to be the faster heavyweight, which is a great look. I think that's a great approach in this heavyweight division. And his hands are coming together, and he has some power on it too. So I like Daukaus. What's the line on that? Let me. If we're getting better than minus 210, solid spot. I think that's a solid spot for my guy, Chris Daukaus. Let's keep on going. Yeah, I convinced Greg Love on Marina, but again, it's a small play. Small play. That's all I'm saying. Thomas Jordan says Daukaus is legit, and I agree. A Plus is asking, would I put Conor and Poirier in the same lineup? I'd only put them in the same lineup if you think this fight goes to a decision, and I don't think it goes to a decision. So you're not going to get optimal value on the other hand. But again, you're going to have to understand that you are taking a losing bet there as well, or at least a losing guy if you take both guys in the same fight. Demistriped is saying, You think Stamen at minus 280 is a fair price against Io? I just can't see Io getting another robbery. I like Stamen, and I'm more down to take that juice as well too. So I think Stamen is a high level opponent, and I just don't think he has what it takes to go out there and beat a guy like Stamen. Like if Stamen can go out there and avoid the bombs of Brian Kelleher over 15 minutes, I think he's going to make it an absolute living hell for Andre Io. So yes, I do like him there. Tristan is asking, do I bet any Bellator or PFL? I poke on Bellator every now and then when I think I see it too wide of a line. Hasn't really worked out for me too much as of late. But when I do start doing this shit full time, your boy's close to doing this shit full time, I promise you, I will start to look into Bellator and PFL. PFL maybe not as much because they have those incentives of like, if you get a quick finish, you get more points and all that type of stuff. So I don't care too much for PFL, but Bellator, I do want to add to the statement since we'll have more opportunities to make some money. So yeah, I definitely want to do a Bellator, and I will be doing full Bellator podcasts once I'm able to do this shit more time and dedicate more time to it. Donnie Ghazali is saying, surprise, surprise, the king is back. We'll see tonight. The champ does what he wants. I love you guys. Dan Man, Khabib is going to pull a GSP. Dude's only 32, so I see him coming back in 3 to 4 years, maybe. But this is a different type of guy. You know what I mean? We're getting a guy that's like super into his faith, super into his religion, is very much about family. So I could absolutely see him just being like, you know what? I'm good. Father's plan, whatever, it's fine. But I think he just kicks back and shows out. Dasher Hunters, John Jones, the GOAT with PDU, and he wins the heavyweight title. He could be. But yeah, his performances have definitely dropped off post USADA. I heard Dylan Moran, Connor's training partner, is going to fight Jake. I don't want to entertain that Jake Paul shit. Mitch Fearing, if you're talking about up and coming fighters, then look out for JP Baez. I think it's Baez is how you pronounce it. Hopefully he's not too juiced of afraid of his debut, but he looked legit in the Contender Series. Yeah, he looked great. He came up short in his first Contender Series fight against Joby Sanchez, but Joby Sanchez is no joke either. But JP Baez, even his wife who fights for the UFC now too, definitely a top prospect, and they're out of Fortis MMA. If you guys know me, you guys know I like guys from Fortis MMA as well. So very high future on that. How do you get your info on the undercard? Research, dude. I do also have something called the Tape Index. It's $3.99 a month, but we put up every single card that's coming up, and we put up every fighter and all their fights since 2013, or at least every single fight I can find of theirs all over the web since 2013, and that's how I do my research. I look at every single fight. I vet them every single time, and that's how I expand my knowledge. Nick Sisson is saying, Tori lost on this week's card. Give me 3 good quality pieces. Hopefully one of them will match my list and I can make it better. 3 parlay pieces. I'll say it again. I think Connor is a solid parlay piece at minus 300. I think that Mozart Evlev, a little bit juiced, but one of the bigger favorites that I like. And then the under 1.5 in the Khalil Rountree fight. If you're able to parlay over unders, I think that's the spot that you go with. Nick Sisson, we got good underdog with her either. LOL. And by the way, thank you. Everything, love everything. Thank you for the support, brother. Trust me, it means a lot to see you guys come out here on a time and time again basis to help support your boy. Hey, Hakan, you know what time the fight is? Blocked. He got blocked, guys. He's no longer in this, but he got blocked. Dasher Hunter, what are the odds of Conor first round KO money wise? Conor first round KO. Conor McGregor wins by KO in round 1 is plus 180. Conor in round 1 is like just round 1 in case he pulls off a submission is interesting, plus 175. Not a bad spot. I don't think that's a bad spot to take a little bit of a stab on. Just saying. In a stand-up game between the Hackpress and Surukian, who wins? I think Hackpress. I do agree. And that's why I'm bummed that this fight's not taking place anymore, as I believed Hackpress was going to win that fight as a sizable underdog as well, too. Ty Drucken is saying, what do you think about Stipe Ngannou 2? Ngannou is sitting at minus 170 favorite last time I checked. I'm done betting Francis Ngannou fights, guys. I'm absolutely done. I like... Stylistically speaking, the guy has a horrible technique when it comes to his boxing game, to his striking game. The guy is just not a good striker, but he has that touch of death, and that's all that matters. If he lands that touch of death, you're going to bed. Stipe being one of the few guys that has been managed to survive that. Yeah, he survived in the first fight. Is he going to be able to survive in the second? I'm not willing to risk my money and find out. So I'm staying away from that fight, guys. Ngannou is just too hard of a fighter to bet on because at any moment he could land that bomb, and analytics and statistics and styles go absolutely out the window when you got a guy like fucking when you got a guy like Francis. So I'm not betting Francis fights anymore. Could you give one highly owned player who could be the biggest bust of the night? I think Hebos. Again, I'm going to bang on this drum to the end of this fucking stream. I think Hebos is going to disappoint a lot of people. I could be wrong. But I think that she could absolutely bust people's lineups. A lot of people are saying that Conor is already in Poirier's head. Again, they're buddy now. I don't think either of them are in anybody's head. Nick Sisson, Lop, Die Hard Rock Stars. I'll go down home. Comments. I think he's saying what's up to me, Die Hard, Rockstar Z. Appreciate the good word, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, those are solid guys. Those are my guys. I love going on streams with those guys. But yeah, appreciate it. If Conor wins, will he retire? He will not retire. He's still going to stick around. What do you do for a 9 to 5 if it's not too personal? No, I'm more than happy to share it. I work in the music industry up here in Canada. It's not as fancy as it sounds. I mean, we mainly deal with mechanical rights and licenses and stuff. So it's all like data entry, data maintenance type of shit. We get to work with like famous songs and artists and all that type of stuff, but it's all through computer. It's not as fancy as it sounds. But yeah, I definitely want to get away from that. I went to school for music business management, saying that I wanted to, work in the MMA or the music industry, but the music industry is slowly whittling away, especially with the whole streaming services coming to fruition. And yeah, MMA is the love of my life now. I mean, MMA is where my passion is in terms of a career, and I've managed to carve out somewhere for me to really settle in, create a bit of a following as well too. Shout out to you guys, because you guys make it possible for me, and I can't wait to take this damn thing to the bank and just continue hammering away at it. Yep, I whisper blocked him. I'm letting you guys know. Hey, Abhishek, thank you for being a fellow Daisy of mine, but whisper block. All right. Hebos will never disappoint me unless she never laughs again. Appreciate it. Jesse Barron. A plus. Locke says he works with Drake. I don't work with Drake. I do have information in terms of like how much money we're paying out to him in terms of his streaming services, and this is all to do with everything that takes place in Canada. So I have access to all that type of shit, and we pay out these guys royalties on a quarterly basis. It's like material wise speaking, like the variables we're working with is cool. It's great. I mean, when you see like how well certain songs are doing, but it gets very repetitive and boring afterwards. I don't want to be sitting in a fucking cubicle doing that type of shit anymore. Though I have been working from home since this whole COVID thing hit, and it's been great, and it's allowed me to just flourish, as you guys can clearly see. It's been an absolutely amazing couple, like almost year now, where I've been able to take this Lock of the Night thing to the next level. And I gotta give a shout out to COVID, man. And as bad as that sounds, shout out to COVID for really helping your boy out in terms of dedicating more time. Because pre-COVID, I was like commuting 3 to 3.5 hours a day to go to this 9 to 5. And then when I come home, I'm like dead tired, still got tape study, still got to drop the podcast. And your boy was dying, straight dying. Then I got to go out there and want to go out there, spend time with the wife and all those other people and give them time. So I wasn't getting that time, but now I'm slowly getting more time. Hottest flyweight and hottest bantamweight. Hottest prospect. I'm going to assume you're saying prospect. I think Movsar, well, he's up at 145 now. Tagir Ulanbekov, if he had a very slow start against Bruno Silva, but I think he's going to be a bad mama jamma. And flyweight, I'm not 100% sure. Amir Albazi, let's see how he does today, but he could be a hot prospect as well too. Dylan Ritchie, if Khabib comes back and fights Conor, do you think Conor will have a better chance this time? I don't think he has a better chance. Satir, how many hours do you tape study for each fight? On average, for sure, I always go back and watch the last 3 fights because I want to get a good idea of kind of where they're at. And then I look at stylistically how they match up with their opponent. And then I go back a little bit further to see, okay, how did they deal with the wrestler if they're fighting a wrestler? How do they deal with the striker if they're fighting a striker? So I don't know how many, like, again, it's hard to say with time because, like, sometimes you got when you're tape studying a guy like Marcin Prachnio who gets knocked out every time he, somebody blows on his chin. yeah, you don't have to spend that much time. So I'm not really sure. It takes a lot though. When you're researching 12 fights on a week to week basis, it's a lot. It's a lot of work that goes into it. And I'm not one of those cappers that like picks and chooses his spots and only, researches certain fights. I research every single fight so that I can do streams like this. So I can go on my odds stream and spit the game, and then I can go on my own podcast and spit the game. I want to give you guys as much information as possible. So it takes way more time for sure. Ali Roner, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you coming out and supporting your boy. If you guys haven't already, just want to remind you guys, hit that like. We had a ton of people stop by the stream today, so I appreciate that immensely. For some reason, I got 7 dislikes. Screw you. Oh, you know what? I know where those dislikes came from. Those motherfuckers that are asking for the time. What kind of music do I listen to? Variety. You know what I mean? Mainly, my brother mainly had me as a hip hop head growing up, so obviously I have a huge love for hip hop. But I'll throw in some classic rock every now and then, some Led Zeppelin. I had an EDM phase. I'm sure everybody had an electronic dance music phase when that shit was the talk of the town. But I'm a J. Cole guy. I'm a Kendrick Lamar guy. The most recent playlist that I actually have, I'll pull it up for you guys right now. I have Kid Cudi's latest album, been banging that. Eminem's latest album, I've been banging that too. A lot of people want to talk shit about Eminem, but the album that he dropped last January was absolute fire. I thought that was absolutely amazing. The Post Malone album too, and then Post Malone's a guy that I used to hate on a lot back in the day. But his last album, I've listened to that to the bone. I've listened to that a lot. And one more other guy, St. John is another guy that I've been listening a lot to. If you guys remember, he had that track called Roses. Yeah, I don't know. I really like that guy. David Nettles, quality content as always. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate the love, buddy. Doing my best out here. This is your calling, brother. I hope so, man. You guys are showing me love, man, and it fucking means a lot. So I know that I have a platform and a following, and I'm going to do my best to continue to cater to you guys. Thomas Short, I'm out of here, but one more question. What time? Fuck you, Thomas. Fuck you. Appreciate the support, man. I love you. Ty Draken, what do you think about Pahea? Do you think he'll ever be a top guy, or will his crazy style stop that? He still has a crazy style, but he's showing it to be a little bit more efficient. So he could absolutely give some guys some problems. But I don't know how he do against top level competition. When he goes up there and fights like legitimate like takedown artists, like I believe he's a 170er, right? So he's got to get past guys like Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, heavy grapplers, and I think that's where he's going to have trouble. And even like solid strikers and like a guy like Leon Edwards. I mean, I don't see him being guys like that. So he's going to be fun. He'll be a UFC mainstay given his style and how he fights. But in terms of his potential to be a champion, I'm not sure about that. It's booty. Who would win, Shevchenko or Jermaine Duranami at bantamweight? GDR is my favorite female fighter. Not often that you get somebody admitting that GDR is their favorite fighter. Interesting fight. Especially the fact that we saw Jennifer Maia give Valentina some issues in that second round, and Jermaine Duranami, obviously a much better fighter. I don't know, dude. I'd lean Shevchenko, but I think Jermaine would be a live dog, and I expect her to be the dog there. Not to mention her being a really big fighter that Shevchenko would have to face. So, yeah, that's a tough one. I've never even thought about that matchup, but it's absolutely a possibility. So, yeah, good question there, buddy. It's Khabib time. Happy to be here. Let's get this money. I hope that we have a much better night than we did have the last 2 events. Let's fucking go. Hey, you gonna show the fight? No. See, the thing is, the Periscope comments, I can't block those. Stop asking me for a link. I don't have a link. Stop asking me what time the fights are. We got another 20 minutes, man. This hour and 42 fucking flew by. You guys are dope, man. You guys are absolute dope. I love you guys. Dylan Ritchie, do you think Israel Adesanya will fight John Jones in the future? I absolutely think that that's what they're trying to work towards. I don't think the UFC would have let Israel Adesanya come up to light heavyweight this quickly if they don't think that's a fight that they could eventually make. So I think that once Izzy gets this title, I think he will, maybe defends it one time, and then by that time, maybe Jones gets his strap at heavyweight. They can eventually make that title. And then Roner is saying he's a big hip hop guy. What do you like for hip hop? Again, I'm a J. Cole guy. J. Cole is my number one. I still bang 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That's an amazing album. And I can't believe it's been over 7 years since that fucking album came out. But yeah, absolute banger. Cole World, no Snuggie. My guy. You know what I'm talking about. Tristan Schuhauser, do you think COVID ends? Will you have to go back into the office? No, I told those guys already. I can't. I have too many people that are too vulnerable to this COVID thing for me to go back and travel downtown and do all this type of shit. So no, I'm not going back into the office. With that said, I truly believe I'll be able to leave my job in the next three-ish months. I set my own like super optimistic goal at the end of March is when I'll put in that resignation letter. But you know, I'm gonna stretch it as much as I can, especially with working from home and doing it as long as I can. Galactic Osprey is saying thank you for all the content throughout the week and good luck. We're blowing down big tonight. I hope so. I fucking hope so. J. Cole, Return of Simba. I'm right there with you, dude. Right there with you. Cast the bet is saying, do I think that Justin Jr. will be the next Ariel Helwani? I don't think he'll reach Ariel Helwani level, but I will give the guy some daps, man. He's 13 years old. He's grinding. He's making these relationships with these fighters nice and early so that once he does get to that age where he's like, okay, I can start to do my own shit and really start to take it way more seriously. The kid's accruing the experience. So I know he, you know, some people like to, you know, joke about him every now and then, but good on the kid for getting into the game nice and early. And I think the relationships that he's making nice and early in his career is definitely going to benefit down the road. How do you guys think I got Ariel Helwani on my show for that 100th episode? I mean, me and him are boys, but I made that relationship with the Ariel way back in 2012 when I had a college radio show. I had him come on. If you guys really want that, it's actually still up on YouTube. I was so excited for that fucking interview the first time that I got it that I forgot to hit record. So the freaking the video starts actually like almost maybe 15 minutes into the video or into the actual interview. But yeah, people can talk all the shit they want about Ariel Helwani, but he's my dude, man. That guy always answers my emails, always answers my DMs. Yeah, I love the guy. Who's my favorite UFC fighter? Again, it's kind of hard to think of off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Well, I have the MMA history artwork ahead in front of me, so let me just go through that and see if there's anybody that catches my eye. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I don't know why I can't. The two names that come to my head, but they're more prospects. But I'm very much high on them. Is Movsar Evloev and Damir Ismagulov. We need those guys to fight a little bit more. That's the issue. Thunder Jazz. I thought Amir had tighter technique than looping loaded up shots from Zagas. What do you think? I'm hoping to start the night on a win. Yeah, I like Amir. Again, he's making much better improvements. His striking is looking better. His bread and butter is his grappling game. Zagas Zumagulov is just an efficient striker. Not much knockout power. He's able to survive against these guys. And that, I think, was his biggest trait on the regional scene, especially in 5-round fights. But he's getting a 3-rounder here against a young upstart in Amir Albazi. I think we see Albazi get off the win. My guy's saying get on that Toby Nuijuiwe rapper from Houston. I'll have to check him out for sure. Say ABC if you think Connor is going to win. ABC. Dan Hardy said he wants to have one more fight. What do you think would be great for him? Combat rematch, I'd be totally down for that. I heard the Nick Diaz name thrown out there, which I think would be great as well too, considering you know, Nick hasn't fought in a while, Dan hasn't fought in a while. Let's just get him in there. I think that'll be a great fight. Who is the favorite on this card that is most likely to get upset? Again, not a lot of people are liking this angle for me, but I think it's going to be Amanda Hebos that could screw up a lot of parlays and tickets here. Yeah, I think that one, Nick Lenz could absolutely make it fucking close. And you guys know me. I've been harping on that Movsar Evloev train for the majority of the chat whenever people ask me who my favorite spot is. Yeah, I'm going to say Evloev and Hebos probably. Ty Drucken. Oh, sorry. I completely overlooked this. Brad Tavares, obviously a favorite. I like Antonio Carlos Jr. So yeah, I think the highest chance of a dog winning tonight is going to be Antonio Carlos Jr. Ty Drucken is asking, Toronto is on heavy lockdown right now. Kind of, but like, I don't know if it's just because I'm an introvert and I like to stay home regardless. I don't really feel anything's changed since like March. We're just home more. That's it. I mean, we still go out there do grocery shopping, and obviously everybody has their masks and the sanitizer and all that type of shit. But like, you can still get takeout food. You can still go to the grocery store. Most spots are like curbside pickup now. So even if you have to go shopping, you just curbside pick it up. That's it. It's really not that bad. Alex is saying Conor McGregor all the way. I'm right there with you. Satiri82 is saying, do you think Emil Valhalla-Meek is UFC material? He might get a last chance because of COVID. I don't think he is, man. He's an entertaining fighter. He has a great shtick, but I just don't think he is UFC material. He just is too susceptible to getting taken down. He relies too much on that heavy power of his. It just doesn't work out for him. Chris Lewis is saying, I'm right downtown Toronto. People still go a bunch. Yeah. You hear right from him. I didn't know you were from Toronto, dude. Whereabouts are you, if you don't mind me asking, in Toronto? I used to work at Bay and Wellesley, at the corner there. That's where the office is. They're both 32 years old. Ty Drick and Royval is my favorite dude. Yeah. I actually agree with you. I really like Royval too. Raw dog, man. I think he's a very high level prospect. Like, the thing is, technically speaking and talent wise, he's not the greatest, but he creates such chaos in the cage that he just makes it the fight more favorable towards him, like he did in the Kai Kara France fight. That was an underdog I was very happy to cash on. But the Brandon Moreno fight was a very tough one for him because he has a guy similar to him who likes to create chaos and make things interesting. But yeah, Brandon Royval, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you. Nick West is saying Casey Kennedy is my favorite newish fighter to watch. Yeah, he has a big fight coming up. That Dominic Cruz fight is very, very interesting. Interested to see what I come away when I tape that fight. I can't watch this fight because my DSTV decoder is faulty. Order the pay-per-view, dude. Come on. Dylan Ritchie saying, I'm a head out. Have a great day. And I'll sub and leave a like on my way. Appreciate it, Dylan, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for joining me. For sure. What percentage you think main event to be in the optimal lineup? I think it has a high percentage. Again, that Connor knockout is going to be huge here, and I think that he delivers on it. Personally, I think the optimal lineup in the high range will have Connor and will have Khalil Roundtree on it. So build your lineups around that, in my opinion. We got just about 10 minutes left on the stream. I'm going to stick with the chat. I love you guys coming out, man. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. If y'all want to get a little bit down and dirty with it, you guys can hit that super chat as well, if you know what I mean, but it's all good. I'm not expecting anybody to hit up that super chat. We did get somebody a little bit early in the stream that did drop some. I really appreciate that too. It helps out your boy a lot, you guys know. All right, let's keep it moving. Who do you think is going to win? I'm assuming you're talking about the main event. I got Connor. David Eddles, do you see the UFC continuing to put out fights on a weekly basis long term? Seems to me like although they are bringing in some decent fighters from other promotions, some aren't UFC quality. Yeah, I think they're going to continue to hammer out like 42 to 44 events a year. Now, they had a lot of time to make up for since COVID, axed a bunch of weekends for them back in March and April, which is why pretty much since July, I think there's 25 events since July up until that December 19th card where we had an event every single fucking weekend. It was insanity. But I think we'll see a couple more off weeks here and there now that we can finally have a full schedule and they're able to go out there with their regularly scheduled programming. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more lulls. The one thing that I did want to see actually was so we have next weekend off. And then after that, so we come back on February 6th, I believe, with the Volkov and Overeem card. But if I'm not mistaken, we have another string of events coming up. So we got February 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, 6th, March 6th, March 13th, March 20th, March 27th. So we have, 8 straight events starting off with the February 6th card, all the way up to UFC 260. Then we have a weekend off, and then we're right back at April 20th. So from February 6th all the way to the end of March, we're going hard. So that's two straight months. We got 8 straight events. I'm down with that. I don't mind 8 straight weekends, but going from fucking 25 straight weekends, I'm cool with that. Why can't I? There we go. Cats or dogs? Definitely dogs. At the end of the stream here, I got a couple minutes left. I'll bring in Alfred. I'll show off Alfred a little bit. Most people who have been on the stream before have seen Alfred. He's my little dachshund wiener dog. Definitely a dog's guy. I need to get a wiener gang. A wiener dog gang. That's what I want to eventually have. Queen and Lansdowne. Okay, makes sense. Fender Jazz, I'm in Ottawa, lockdown 2FE, man. Thankful for UFC. Big thanks to you. Lockdown for sure. I think my guy Nick West is out there in Ottawa too. I love Ottawa. My wife loves Ottawa as well. The funny thing is, we're always talking about like moving to Ottawa and living there. But then after going there a couple times, you're like, okay, maybe this is a city that you just enjoy to visit. Maybe not actually live in. It's Booty. Weirdly Olenek is one of my favorite fighters to watch. His strange subs and the way he puts his legs on the cage between rounds makes me laugh. Yeah, man, I love having old man Olenek around. Please don't retire. Just give him favorable matchups and guys that won't just put his lights out and just keep him around, man. No, I'm right there with you. And not to mention, I was one of those few guys that went out there and actually bet Olynyk to win against Mark Hunt, and by sub. Obviously, by sub was his win condition there, but I was happy to be that guy. Just as I'm the guy that's on Marina Rodriguez this week, just as I'm the guy that was on fucking Jake Collier the other week. And again, I will taper myself down a little bit. I was the guy that was on Jordan Wright over Joaquin Buckley, but you got to be bold. You got to have some balls. And if you see an angle to win for the underdog, no matter how much the public loves the favorite, you got to be ballsy to go out there and actually pick these guys. So, yeah, I was so happy to cash that Olynyk over Mark Hunt ticket. National Hunter is down in Arizona. I'm sure it's nice and warm down there for you. Who do you think is going to win because Conor McGregor is a GOAT? I don't think McGregor is a GOAT talent-wise. I actually, I might have to backtrack on that a little bit, but I do think Conor wins for sure. No lockdown for National Hunter down in Arizona, and we are very envious of you. But then again, I'm an introvert. I like to stay home anyway. Ty Drucken, another guy I like is Spike Carlisle. Not the best, but he's fun to watch. Also, Gon looks like a real heavyweight threat. I do agree. I do think Gon has very high potential. My question marks come around what his takedown, or sorry, what he looks like off of his back. We've seen him on top, pull off some Kimura victories and all that type of stuff. But what does he look like when he's the one getting taken down? And that's my question mark for him. He was about to fight that guy named Antti Delia, and then Fight Week PFL posed him because they're like, oh, he's under contract with us. But I took a little bit of a shot on that guy. That guy was like plus 300 or something, plus 350, some crazy number. I took a shot on him because I liked his takedown game, and I thought that was going to be a way that we've never seen Cyril Gane actually tested before. So, yeah, I think Gon does have a bright future, but I need to see his full game before I truly write home about him. Greg Love is saying the main card starts at 5 a.m. here in Cyprus. I might have to skip it, wake up, stay off all social media. I hate doing that, dude. I hate doing the social media blackout to not watch these fights live, so I'm really looking forward to it. Shawnee Mack is saying, Wiener Gang. I'm right there. Wiener Dog Gang. I'm telling you, I'll bring an Alfred here before I get off the stream in about 5 minutes. Connor Knockout. Dash Hunter, you should buy a bread outfit for your wiener dog. That'll be dope. I might have to do that. So far, the only thing we've gotten him was like a little bow tie. So me and the wife got married back in June, and we had him obviously with us, and we put like a little bow tie around his leash. He looks so fucking cute. I can't wait to get him in here and show him off to you guys a little bit more. Gary, got to start making Lock of the Night masks. They would be killing. I think I missed a boat on that one. Again, I do have some merch coming in. I have some cool shit coming in that I can't wait to drop to you guys. I'm hoping in the next little while that I can get it going, but I'm really excited about it. And I appreciate it. I know a lot of you guys will be down to buy it and check it out, but I want to make sure it's premium shit that I can rely on, won't just get washed out. Dasher's saying it's cold here, 60 to 70 Fahrenheit. If you don't mind, could you do the quick calculation for me in terms of what that is in Celsius? Because I still don't understand the fucking conversion. Raj 27, first time here. Thanks for answering all the questions. Appreciate it, mate. I appreciate your support. I see you're a subscriber as well too. If you haven't already, make sure you like. But I do appreciate the support. Trust me, it means a ton to me. You guys are absolute beasts for joining me as always on fight days. Usually we have about like 70-ish people in here. I'm assuming with the whole hoopla of being a Conor event, we're in the 120s, even got all the way up to the 250s. But I'm sure some of those people are just looking for a stream and for a link. But yeah, it was great today. It was absolutely amazing. I'm glad that I decided to go for the full 2 hours because there's no way that I was going to be able to get to all of you guys just in 60 minutes when it was 120 Fahrenheit. Again, hit me with that Celsius. What's 60 to 70 Fahrenheit in Celsius? He's coming. I promise you, David Zhao. He's coming. I'm going to wrap this up very shortly, and then I'll get him in here. Do you think Poirier will try to wrestle? I do think he will try to. Now, the question is, will he be successful? I don't think he will be successful in it. We can shit on Conor as much as we want, but he showed decent takedown defense against Khabib Nurmagomedov up until the point that he got finished, and I don't think that Poirier has Khabib level of wrestling. Yes, smash that like. Through the years, what fighter has been your biggest moneymaker? Ooh, good question. Marab's made me some good money, even though he's been a little bit chalky. Guys that I like to ride with, Kamaru Usman, another guy, again, been a little bit chalky, but he's definitely been a money train for me. Colby Covington, another guy as well, too. Guys that are reliable with a gas tank, that are durable, that have solid wrestling. Those are the guys that I kind of like to look at. Jace has a dog named Bella. Mine is named Alfred. I'll get Alfred in here very shortly. Dasher's saying 18 degrees Celsius. That's not cold, dude. But again, if you're acclimated to like super high heat, so what's 120 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Let me know what that is. If that's what you guys are used to, then I understand it's a lot. Haven't missed any talk on Hooker Chandler. Yes, dude. This stream's been going on for 2 hours, but yeah, I think Hooker wins. I think he wins by KO. But yeah. We need that Roses Lock of the Night remix. Don't tell me you're gonna clip that shit, dude. Please don't clip that shit. But that's a dope track, right? There's the remix that obviously made it as big as it is, but then even the normal one, I think it's fucking great. Roses. Does Dan Hooker have a plan for Chandler? It must. The guy has the same head coach as Israel Adesanya. I'm sure they have a plan for Chandler here. A freezing cut. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm sure it is. 60 Fahrenheit is 15 Celsius. What's 120? So my brother is coming in and helping us out here. 120 Fahrenheit is 48 Celsius. That's insane. We've never had 48 Celsius up here in Toronto. Now we get minus 48 sometimes. Maybe not in Toronto. My wife's originally from Saskatchewan, which is more north than where we're at here in Southern Ontario. And when I went out to visit them, like literally the first day I went out there, it was minus 36 Celsius. As soon as I stepped out of the airport, my mustache was frozen. They looked at the jacket that I was wearing. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" I'm like, "This is my first time in this type of fucking climate." But yeah, I don't envy them up there, man. It's way too fucking cold up there. And another thing I found very interesting too, I never knew this, but most of those cars, they drive with they have a plug that they have under the hood, and most of them actually drive with it like sticking out because sometimes if they go to a store or something like that, it's so cold that their engine could just freeze. So sometimes they have to power start it by plugging it in. Fucking nuts. Absolutely insane. I found that hilarious. Dasher and Hunter, I have 2 cats. Dasher and Hunter. I understand the name then. I actually lived with a bunch of cats when I was in college. I had a couple of like female roommates as well, and all of them had cats. But yeah, I definitely prefer dogs. It seems like with cats, as long as you like give them food, they're always going to keep coming back. Whereas dogs, they're just like, they're going to love you to death. They'll starve to death for your ass. Ty Druk and Holland has been my winner. I just put money on him when he started that win streak and then 75 on him KOing Souza. That was a rough one because I thought Souza was going to be able to continuously get him down. The way that he fucking finished him was absolutely brutal, man. I still think that Holland is going to be a little bit more overhyped here. I don't think he's championship material. And that Brunson fight, he could knock out Brunson, but I think that's going to be a closer fight than most people expect. Yeah, Ferdinand Celsius. Thanks to my brother as well for clarifying that. Jay said he farted. I can smell it over here. Come on, dude. For sure. No, we understand that. Again, when you're so acclimated to like higher levels of temperature, I get it. Trust me. I think Hooker is going to be more focused on the strategy. He was very disappointed on going off the game plan in the Poirier fight. He can be very dangerous. I think the leg kicking game is going to be very important here, especially the calf kicking game that he was able to implement against what's his fucking face? Ally Quinta. 40 is insane. We hit like 32, 36 here in Ontario. Yeah, dude. Like 32 is high for us. That's like the warmest it's going to get up here. Ty Drucken, Locke had female roommates too, was giving the dog every night. Nah, I had nothing with my female roommates. We still keep in touch. It was like seven of us living in a house. All of us were in the same program, and it was 3 guys. Sean, who was also in this chat a little bit earlier, and another guy, and then we had like 3 rotating female roommates that came in over those 2.5 years that we were there. So yeah, it was great. It was fun times. Y'all know college. If you lived away from home when you're at college, you know what the fuck happened. Rizvan is asking for betting tips. I just gave you guys 2 hours of that stuff, so I want you to go back and listen to that. No betting tips. We're just here for the weather talk. Exactly. I think Chandler, if he makes it a dogfight, will be a dogfight between him and Hooker. All right, let me get Alfred in here. Now I'm going to get the hell out of here. Let me see if I can text the wife to open up the door. I don't want to get up and then do all the fucking work to get my ass up. I know the wife's probably just scrolling through Instagram now. All right, let's see if she gets the message and she brings them in here. Let me put all my liquids away from the laptop in case he gets a little bit crazy. Oh, she saw the message. So she's bringing him. Let me put this down before we get a little bit crazy. Trukin is saying I'm feeling a Chandler decision in my belly. Here he comes. Here comes Alfred. Alfred, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Hey. Alfred, come here. Come on. Yeah, come on. Come here, little boy. Alfred, come here. Come. There you are. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let me get this mic out of the way a little bit. Alfred, come here. You can get out. You can get out. Come here. Come here. When mom's in the room, he's not going to want to come up to me. There we go. Oh, here he is. Here's little Alfred. This is, let me get this comment out of the way. Alfred, look. Say hi. Oh, isn't he the cutest little thing? Come on. Alfred, say hi. Hi, guys. No, he's so chill. He's all over mom's nuts right now. So, he's gonna let him go. Let him go. Let him go. At least he got to get on the stream. A lot of people were wanting to see him. All right, let me wrap up the comments here, and then I'm gonna get on out. A lot of people believe in Connor. You a big DC Comics guy then? Not a lot. You know, I mean, like, again, I'm not balls deep into that stuff. Yeah, I'll watch the DC movies. I'll watch the DC, all right, and the Marvel movies and stuff. But I'm not a comic book guy. That's the thing. Rizwan, go on Twitter, type in my name at MMALOTN, and look at the first post on my Twitter, and you'll see all the bets there. All right. Cue the entrance music for Alfred. Yeah, I should have something like dun, 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 dun. He's such a G. Let's go, Alfred. Hype in the chat. Ty Drucken is saying, Alfred, best part of the show, the grand finale with Alfred. Thank you, Prab. By the way, we know. Hey! Everybody say hi to Rizwan. Everybody say hi to Rizwan. Bye, Rizwan. Bye, Rizwan. Cute dog. I know. Wiener dogs are the cutest. He wants his mom. He does. That's a cutie. I know, man. He stole my heart. He stole my heart. Alfred's a piece and making his middleweight debut against Costa. He's gonna doggy him. You thought Izzy had it bad. If he's a wiener dog, he looks like my wiener. Don't kill me, Jace. I appreciate the love. The only fight to make at lightweight is Khabib versus GSP. I don't want to see at this point in time. I think GSP is too far gone at this point. It's a lose-lose. It's give me Khabib versus Charles Oliveira. Give me that fight, and I'd be down for Khabib to come back. Anything else other than that, unless Michael Chandler goes out there, Storches, or Storches. Why do I keep saying Storch? Scott Storch, if you guys remember Scott Storch. If he starches Dan Hooker and looks very impressive, then I'd be down for maybe Khabib versus Chandler, but I want to see Khabib versus Oliver. That's the spot that I want to go with. Brad Anthony saying, thanks for your videos and work for you do. Good luck tonight. Yes, I do appreciate all the love from you guys. All right. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like below. That really helps me out, gets me into the algorithm, gets me out there, and lets YouTube know that you guys enjoy what the fuck I do. And I appreciate you guys for what you guys do for me, which is hopping in the channel as always, and participating in these live chats. Shout out to everybody that's stuck around for the full 2 hours. The fights kick off, and this is the last time I'm going to say it. The fights kick off. You know what? I've been talking out of my ass this whole time because I'm used to the fights starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Let me just confirm that. Let me see what time the prelims are at. Schedule fight pass prelims 7 o'clock. Okay, so I was bang on. We got 3 hours and 44 minutes until the first fights kicks off. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. My laptop is about to die as well too. I forgot to plug in the charger. Too far gone. Have you seen GSP's hair lately? No, I mean like too far gone. Like he hasn't competed in forever. And how old is he now too? Right? How old is GSP? 39 years old. He's not going to give Khabib the best test at his point. It's like what they did with Mayweather and Pacquiao here. I mean, these guys are just too far gone. I don't want to see that matchup anymore. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by for the chat. Like, comment, subscribe. The Patreon is always there too if you want to support your boy even more. We got over 253 people or 243 people in there right now. We had a bunch drop on last night as well too. Again, not doing the greatest in terms of my bets from the last two events, but you guys know I put in the work. I do my research. I do my due diligence, and the best way you guys can help your boy out is just checking out the Patreon. $5 a month. Cheap as fuck, but it's definitely making this dream of mine become a reality in terms of doing this thing on a full-time basis. And it all comes from the support from you guys. So even if you don't hop on the Patreon, subscribing and liking the videos are the least that you guys can do for your boy. That's the way you help me out the most. Trust me. All right. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Let's fucking kill it. I'm hoping to bounce back really, really hard from the last two events. And we go on a 1-week hiatus next weekend. But for my Sal Vetri followers, I will be doing something on his channel next week, so you guys can watch out for that. But it's a dark week for me next week on this channel. Obviously, content's going to be coming on the Patreon. All my breakdowns for the February 6th card are going to start dropping probably tomorrow over the next couple of days. All the early access breakdowns are going to be dropping on the Patreon for the February 6th cards. So make sure you guys check that out. Good luck on your bets this weekend, or tonight, I should say that. Good luck on your bets tonight, and we will be back next week. Good luck. And thanks again for joining